What is up, everybody? How are you guys doing today? Happy Monday night, Monday evening. Welcome to another episode of the Black Line Brief. I'm your host, Matthew McKim, and boy, do we have a show lined up for y'all tonight. All right, I got 3 videos. One video of Charlie Kirk. Got to give the credit to my wife for finding. There you go, sweetie. This video is more, I think, important than Charlie's last interview, the entrepreneur video. In this video that we're going to watch, we are going to hear so much straight out of Charlie's mouth, so many things that are going to blow everybody's mind. And I really do think this is a nail in the coffin for Erika Kirk and TPUSA. So buckle up, get ready for the ride of your life. And please take the poll that I put out there, because Charlie's going to say it himself. I mean, obviously he doesn't, out of the 3 that are in there, one of them isn't even mentioned. Just 2 are mentioned, but he made it pretty clear. I think option number 2 is encompassed in option number 3, because option number 2, there's people from option number 2 in that poll that are in option number 3. So I wasn't trying to make it a trick question, actually. Now that I think of it, it was like, oh, it kind of is, but it's not. But wait till you see. And then I have a video of Charlie with James Kaddis that we're going to look at. Most people haven't seen. And then I have a video just of James Kaddis that we're going to listen to as well, because it's insane, some of the things that he says. But it's going to be a really good show. It's going to be a very good show. So as you guys come in, please do me a favor and hit the like and the subscribe. It's the best way that you can help support the channel. I do appreciate it every time you do so. And, without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, let me set this up. So this is Charlie Kirk with Grant Cardone at the 10X conference in March 2025. It was like March 19th through the 21st. It was most likely filmed either on the 20th or the 21st. From my understanding, it was a paid conference. It didn't get posted until September 12th, 2025. And I think a lot of people probably didn't see it. Maybe if you've seen it, good for you. I've seen as many things that I could find of Charlie. This hasn't come up on my radar on all my searches, and it was never suggested by the algorithm. And it is a gem of Charlie Kirk's positions, his beliefs, his feelings, his thoughts, his perspectives on so many things that are going to shine light on. Would he really appoint Erika? No. No, he all but says that he would never, ever, ever, ever do that. And I'll let you guys be the judge of it too. And he also says that he was never concerned about certain groups and certain individuals, but really one that kept him concerned. And I'm being tight-lipped about it because I don't want to give it away in the beginning. I want us all to get there together. All right. So, all right, let's get there together.
So the process was, look, I saw a problem, and entrepreneurs are problem solvers. It's that simple. People say all the time, Charlie, how do I get rich? How do I be successful? You solve a problem. Once you solve a problem, people will give you value. And when you solve a problem over a period of time better than somebody else, then you have a market differentiator. Well, I saw a very big problem, which was that the nation's youth were dramatically going to the left, that our college campuses were not places of free speech and free dialogue and open discussion. And so I decided to start an organization that would address that. It was called Turning Point USA. Started in literally my parents' garage with no money, no connections, and no idea what I was doing. And thanks to the Lord's providence, and I have to give credit to God Almighty for his blessing at every single corner and step and turn.
Let's go.
Let me ask you guys a question. Sorry, I had to turn it up because the volume was down. I'll have to turn it back down as I start talking again. That's Charlie's vision as to why he founded Turning Point USA. Is Turning Point USA right now, under the leadership of Erika Kirk, focused on those things, doing those things, trying to reach college students where they're at, right? About free speech? No, not at all. Not at all. This is his original vision and idea for Turning Point. That should be part of the continued legacy of Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA. And that's not even it's not even a part of it anymore. I mean, you guys saw that video of that college student. College students left and right are unhappy and, disillusioned with the direction in which Erika Kirk has taken Turning Point. I mean, we heard Candace Owens earlier today say, and I pointed that out too the other night, last week, when we watched that Erika Kirk on the education board video, where she said that she knew everyone's name. Nope, because that audio, and I referenced it, where she was like, the kids were handed off to other people. They played with them. And when Erika was working, and then she went home and the kids would say the names. She didn't know the people's names. Erika Kirk is a liar. She's a liar. And for people that continue to push Erika Kirk as this continued, part of Charlie's legacy, is just completely, I think, lost and or dishonest. I don't know. But Turning Point right now is not fulfilling the original vision and purpose that Charlie set out in the beginning.
We experienced the most amazing journey over 13 years, where I have been able to not just make an impact in the culture and politics, but build something of value and of great substance and depth. As you mentioned, we have over 1,000 employees at Turning Point. We have well over $150 million in revenue between all the different entities. So we have over 430,000 people that donate money to Turning Point USA and Turning Point Action. You can call them our customers. But as a nonprofit, we do have a for-profit arm, which is my show.
I thought that was interesting, right? Though we know that, and I've covered this before, Andrew Colvett, there was some sort of manufactured crisis that Charlie Kirk wasn't able to solve on his own, supposedly, right? Barron covered this too, and it had something to do with one of the justices' nieces or daughters or family members. And that supposedly, and Charlie had Andrew Colvett's number, and Andrew Colvett was hounding Charlie Kirk by Andrew Colvett's own account. He said this. Charlie Kirk was ghosting him. And then this crisis came about where Charlie ended up needing Andrew Colvett. I think it's interesting that the one organization that Andrew Colvett weaseled his way into is the one company that's for profit. Out of all the other affiliates, that's the one Andrew Colvett has weaseled his way into, which is the Charlie Kirk Show, and he's part owner of the show. I just found that to be interesting.
But as a nonprofit, our customers are actually the students, are actually the target that we are trying to reach every single day. And so it's just been an amazing blessing. And as an entrepreneur, I'm always looking at new problems to try to solve. And
so is Erika Kirk and TPUSA focused on that audience, college students? Is Erika Kirk and everyone at TPUSA trying to solve new problems, real problems that exist for the audience, the intended audience, the college students? No, they're not even listening to the college students, because the college students that Charlie was listening to up until the end of his life were telling him that they cared about the Jeffy Epi files. They wanted Philly out of our country, out of our politics. They wanted us out of the Middle East. If Erika wanted to be honest and continue Charlie Kirk's legacy, she would have to respond to what the audience, what the intended, customers, so to speak, were wanting, what they felt was valuable. They're ignoring them now. Now it's almost as if they are dedicating their entire platform to boomers. That's what it seems like. No offense to any boomers.
New ways that we could try to bring an innovative, passionate approach to try to make America a better and stronger country.
Dude, he's selling America. So,
and this is by far, I think, one of Charlie Kirk's best interviews ever.
Keep in mind now, I opened this morning. Yeah, we're moving.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
The president was on this stage and it started moving. He's like, are we moving right? I started this morning by saying everything starts with an idea. And then you take the idea and you start marketing that concept. How important is marketing? No, let me just back up. How many people did you have on social media 13 years ago?
11.
11?
Yeah. You were 3 of them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, it was just literally just my Facebook friends from high school back when.
I'm going to let him finish. Okay. One of the things that I want to point out to you guys is Charlie Kirk is not reading a script. At no point is he regurgitating remembered, memorized lines. He's not repeating phrases, slogans, catchphrases. Okay. He's not acting. This Charlie Kirk, there's no way Charlie Kirk could have got up on every stage and in front of every camera every day that he did it and been the same authentic, genuine, off the cuff, just brilliant, articulate person that he was. So people saying that he was not who we think he was and, oh, it's totally possible that he faked his own, death. No, there's no way. He would have slipped. He would have, like Erika, look at Andrew Colvett, look at all the people that are regurgitating lines. Look at all the people that are acting, that aren't being authentic and genuine. It's obvious. It's obvious every time they get in front of a mic, every time they get behind a camera. They keep repeating slogans, phrases. It's so obvious how fake and inauthentic they are. The thing about Charlie Kirk was he was charismatically authentic, honest every single time. He's not rehearsing and acting anything. You can't do that 330 days a year for over 2012 to 2014, over 12 years without slipping up. Never happened. Charlie Kirk was one of the most authentic and genuine people in the limelight. One of the reasons why he feels him and Tucker Carlson would never, ever, ever run for public office. And he says it later. And in that same vein, he would never, ever say that Erika would be president someday. So ridiculous.
Facebook was still a thing. I had like 12 Twitter followers back when it was Twitter, not X. Yeah. This was before Instagram, before TikTok. It was nothing. It was a 0 to 1 story, but it was also this idea of, okay, the hardest part, believe it or not, was not getting to the billions of views that we now have, or the nearly 5 million people on X or 6 million people on TikTok, whatever. The hardest part was actually getting to 10,000 followers.
That was the coolest thing for me, hearing that, because that was one of the biggest milestones for me personally in this channel, and some of the adversity that this community, myself, have faced making it to 10. And hearing Charlie Kirk say that that was one of the hardest things that he did, and like getting to that point for him was a milestone and an achievement. And that was just like, I don't know, something that spoke directly to me.
The hardest part was getting to 10,000 followers or 500,000. Once you get at scale, it is the Pareto principle, which is that then once you have more, then getting even more is easier than going from nothing to something. And so, and then you just apply the same success formula over a period of time, and you apply that, and you realize that there is a rhythm to how God designed the universe. And the rhythm is very, I believe that also the scriptures give us an idea of how we can succeed as business people, entrepreneurs, husbands, wives. And one of the ways that we are told is to treat others the way you want to be treated.
Okay, so listen to Charlie and what his perception, like his belief on what would make him successful and his company, his organization successful, and his for-profit company, the Charlie Kirk Show, what it is that he realized are like the ingredients for success. And then ask yourself, does Erika Kirk and TPUSA embody those things now? Now. No.
Because look, here's the thing. It's love your neighbor as yourself. Leviticus 19, Christ our Lord repeated it. And it's a very important teaching, but in the business world, think about it. If you don't love your neighbor as yourself or treat your neighbor well, no one will want to do business with you.
Yeah.
No one, Grant, the reason why you sell this place out for 10 years straight is because people know they're going to get value when they come here.
Are people getting value from TPUSA and Erika Kirk right now? No. Do people know that they can get value when they go? No, they're having to pay and fill the seats and give out tickets. Without Charlie Kirk, TPUSA and Erika Kirk are running it into the ground.
If it was just 1 year and it was the Fire Festival, it would not be the 10X conference. It would be the 10 lawsuit conference. Right. But you treat people with value and reciprocal. The worldview that I bring to a lot of students as well, though, as a tangent, is that we believe market principles, not Marxism, but market principles, demand you to treat other people well because you're both getting value in that transaction. That there's two winners, there's no losers.
Yeah.
We're the loser in this transaction now with the current leadership of TPUSA and Erika Kirk. We are not getting value from them. Nobody is getting value from Erika Kirk and TPUSA anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
So when somebody comes to this event, you're winning because you put on all this time and you have to be rewarded for doing all this. Your team all has jobs and all the AV people, but most importantly, the attendees find value and they travel from across the country and they get something out of it. So anyway, going from 0 to 1 and then 1 to 10, 10 to 100.
10X.
Yeah, exactly. 10X.
10X.
And in a lot of ways, our story is like a 5,000X story. It is you could say, one of the greatest growth stories in American political, cultural landscape of the generation.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know you saw yourself as an entrepreneur, but I'm glad you said that because I see you as an entrepreneur.
Thank you.
I've always said, oh, that dude's a brilliant marketer, knows how to monetize. He's not selling a product. He's getting people to do something even harder, which is to invest in an idea and a concept that hadn't actually produced itself yet. So I've watched you like, dude, that guy is a monster marketer. Where did the original messaging come from? And then how long did it take you to craft the message to find out what was actually people's buttons?
Yeah, and that's the beauty of social media, that if you really know how to use it, and this is very important, that you should be understanding what your audience is processing as much as what you are posting.
Understand what your audience is processing as much as what you are posting. Think about all the posts that Andrew Colvett, Erika Kirk, Blake Neff, Alex Clark, and other people affiliated still with TPUSA. And is that what we're wanting to consume, what we find value in? No, not at all. What are they doing? Well, it looks like their agenda now is to pretty much be the new Fox News on YouTube, on the internet, shill for Philly, uphold the status quo for the elites and their power structure, and crush dissent. Do not promote people asking questions. Yeah, I think the list goes on, but I'll stop there so we can continue to hear Charlie.
And a really good content creator understands the needs, wants, the emotions, and the inclinations of the audience, and then also tries to anticipate what content that the audience will want before they can even actually ever verbalize it or
vocalize it. We want accountability for the Jeffy Epi files. TPUSA and Erika Kirk, not going to do that. We want accountability for all the corrupt politicians and bureaucrats and CEOs that are affecting America in a negative way. Definitely, we want foreign governments out of our country, out of our politics, out of our business. And TPUSA and Erika Kirk seems to be who they are protecting now, seems to be who they are promoting now. That couldn't be a more clear thing for me as to why Charlie was an honest, integral, direct person that was doing these things more and more as time went on towards September 10th. And that the moment he was assassinated, they all completely reverted course to go in the other direction. How does that not speak to motive? How does that not speak to motive?
It. So as an entrepreneur kind of in the social media space, I had a very difficult job. It's easy to kind of look now in 2025. Oh yeah, of course, Charlie, you have all these followers. I want you to think of how difficult my job was even 8 years ago.
Yeah.
8 years ago, I had to go to college campuses and reach young people on the idea that I'm not going to forgive your student loans. I'm not going to give you free healthcare. I'm not going to give you free money not to work. And I'm not going to say I'm going to legalize every drug that you can use for any reason you want to do it. And my message actually is no, you can be really successful, but you have to apply actions differently than what you're currently doing. And America's actually an awesome country.
Yeah.
And remember when Erika Kirk did her, Miss America or Miss Arizona behind the scenes questions, like she was promoting legalization, right? And that was around the same time frame when Charlie said he was out there like saying the complete opposite of what he was standing for.
My message was rooted in a victor mentality, not a victim mentality.
Charlie Kirk's message is rooted in a victor mentality, not a victim mentality. What is Erika Kirk? What is Blake Neff and Andrew Colvett? They couldn't be more of the ultimate victim mentality than anyone else. I just want to go home. Boo-hoo, these people are attacking me. They're asking questions. Why can't people just move on? Why won't they just accept the official narrative? Oh, they're just jealous of Erika. They're just jealous of TPUSA. They get up there every day pushing the victim. Charlie was a victor.
Way harder.
Yeah.
You know how easy
this violated the customer's always right.
Well, in some ways, but the customer, the customer had two things they wanted simultaneously. Outwardly, they wanted just free stuff for their flesh, but also deeply, they realized that gives them misery and not a life of prosperity or excellence or flourishing. When our job was, how do we get the audience or the customer to try to reach to a better version of themselves? And we saw this, quite honestly, post-COVID was a great tragedy. And we also have to be very morally clear. There's COVID and our reaction to COVID. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm going to talk about this. So, two things that he said. He wanted, part of what they were trying to do is get the audience, the customers, to reach for a better version of themselves. TPUSA is not doing that at all right now. They're doing the opposite. Number two, he said, it was COVID was a tragedy, but there's two things to think about, like COVID itself and then the response to COVID. And that the response to COVID was a whole nother level of, I can't even think of the word, but because what I'm thinking about right now is Charlie Kirk's assassination is somewhat the same. His assassination was horrible, but the government, the FBI, state of Utah, Erika Kirk, TPUSA, their response to Charlie's assassination is, I'm not going to say worse. His assassination was horrible, but their response was equally horrible. What they're doing is almost like what the government did with their response to COVID. And I thought that was insane because, watch what he says.
Reaction to COVID was far worse than anything COVID actually ever did to our society. And that must always be stated, that the lockdowns, the masking, and what our reaction to COVID did is it created a generation that was so angered, that was so depressed, that was so drug addicted, that was so searching for answers, that we were able to come by with a very compelling message and be not just viral, but also very appealing to a generation that was drowning in the nonsense of the modern zeitgeist.
And I would have to say it's been the reaction and response to Charlie's assassination, the lack of accountability, no honesty, right? That has made people super angry. A lot of people super depressed. His assassination was brutal, disgusting, sad, tragic, heartbreaking. But what made it worse was we were for sure positive because it was Charlie Kirk. And because Trump and JD Vance and Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, oh, they're his friends. For sure, we were going to get to the bottom of the truth. For sure, this would be something that wouldn't turn into another JFK, not another COVID, not another Jeffy Epi. Like this one, they would do different. But no, it hasn't been. And you can't tell me that has made people more pissed off, more depressed about the state of our country, about the state of the people that are controlling and ruling over us, about that foreign country that seems to have its tentacles in every single person that's running this administration. And the good ones leave. The good ones leave because they saw the writing on the wall. It's nuts.
Not to mention, you had an entire generation of young men that were being told that it was a problem that you merely even existed, that if you're a young white man, you have to apologize for just breathing at some of these schools. And so what we were able to do, and we're very thankful for it, was really fill that vacuum and fill that void.
You didn't know. I mean, then you'd never imagine you'd have 100 million followers.
Who's filling the void now? He said TPUSA and himself filled that void during and after COVID. TPUSA is not doing that now. What other organizations are? There's just independent people like Candace, like Tucker, like Zach, like myself, and others that are trying to fill this void because Erika Kirk and Andrew Colvin and TPUSA are not. They're forsaking that responsibility. They are literally destroying that part of Charlie's legacy.
No, and again, that's 100 million between Turning Point USA and Charlie.
Well, whatever, dude. 100 million's 100 million.
I know.
Keep it real.
I'm trying to be a little less Grant Cardone. I'm trying to just be a little bit,
Bro, we're on the same team, man.
No, I know. I'm kidding.
So
look at how charismatic, look how authentic, look how honest, transparent he is. Brilliant. Okay, brilliant man, good man. No one that they've floated in front of us, no woman either, that they've tried to tout out there as some sort of replacement or even temporary replacement for Charlie will ever do it. And the worst thing that they ever did was how they chose to respond and lie about Charlie and about the assassination, about the investigation, because it's only made it 1,000 times worse. 1,000 times worse. We would have rallied behind them. We all would have rallied behind them 100%. 100% if they would have came out and been honest and been like, it really was the donors. It really was Philly. They were pressuring him. He was scared of them. Wait till you hear what he says, who he was concerned about, who he wasn't. Erika Kirk lied about the Jezebel article. She lied that Charlie would ever have someone come over, a priest come over and pray over him about some stupid Pinterest hex or spell. It's from his own words. Listen to Charlie when he says it.
Like you in backstage, you said, man, this guy's got a lot of energy. Do you see me as a person with a lot of energy?
Yes. Yes.
What do I do that communicates a lot of energy?
It's a good thing.
I don't know, Grant. It's just the way you are.
Okay. It's God. God instilled a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I have to give you a compliment, Grant. I'm giving you a hard time, of course.
No,
it's that when you walk into a room, there's a magnetism, there's a life force that if even 10% more of humanity had it, the world would be a much better place. It is a optimistic problem solving. I mean that.
Yeah, thanks.
And I only say the follower thing that I just always want to be drilled down.
Grounded, right? He wants to be honest. He said he didn't have 100 million followers on one platform. It was a compilation of all the different platforms that he had.
I want to be accurate, but no, I never could have imagined it.
Yeah.
But
did you ever imagine that you would have people fund $150 million.
Never.
No.
No.
Right. So I'm just telling the audience, so you just want to talk about in the beginning that your imagination is probably limited to the possibility.
This is a very important point, that even though your imagination is limited, I could not even grasp the concept of what does it mean to cash a check from a donor. Understand,
Yeah.
I was a recent high school graduate who did not know the difference between credit and debit.
That's the level of innocence. That's the level of innocence and ignorance Charlie had about the real world. Didn't know the difference between credit and debit. Okay. Didn't know what it would mean to cash a check. Yes, he said from a donor, but nonetheless. Okay. You want to know how, when Charlie was fresh out of high school, completely impressionable to the world and to the snakes and the vipers that exist out there, waiting to sink their teeth into someone that had natural charisma and talent that they could all profit from individually. He didn't know by entering into this world how many people would lie, would use, and take advantage of him. I think it took him a while to find that out. You'll see, though, this is in March of 2025. He was very aware. He was very, very aware.
That barely knew how to open up a checking account, that all of a sudden wanted to start an organization. Like, what does that even mean, right? But in entrepreneurship, there are steps and there are sequences. And eventually, you get to a place where you realize what you are doing is working, making the world a better place, and can be scaled. And you enjoy it. If those four things simultaneously can occur, then you are in the right place at the right time. That is the recipe. That if you are able to find something that you're good at and find something that you enjoy. And let me just...
Is Erika Kirk doing that right now? She neither went... Yeah, no. She's enjoying the fame, the money. She's not enjoying the process. She's not enjoying the journey. Okay? She's not enjoying she's not building anything. And you'll hear Charlie talk about that in a second too. She hasn't built a thing in her life. He would never, ever, ever hand off the company, the organization, to someone that hadn't earned something, hadn't built something a day in their life.
This also...
Oh, wait, let me read this real quick. I just saw it pop up. Heather, thank you so much. Heather has issues. My husband thinks I stress too much about the lack of effort and apathy in discovering who killed Charlie. But it's everything to me, or it's everything. Charlie was a shining light in this world. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000% agree, Heather. It's everything. It's everything. We'll never let it go. I'll never let it go.
Speak to some of you in the audience. Maybe you guys are here looking for that next passion project. I think that we actually go after our nation's youth a little bit wrong about this. We say, hey, follow your heart in everything that you do. I actually think we should tell them, follow your skill that you enjoy doing. Because, for example, there are things that I really enjoy doing that I'm not that good at. For example, I could be a college football coach. I love college football. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Not my greatest and best use. But my greatest and best use, I love politics. I love speaking. I love changing people's lives. I love the battle of ideas.
Does Erika love those things? Does Andrew Colvin and Blake Neff love those things? Do you see them passionately enjoying every time they get up there to do what they're doing? No. They're playing a role. They're playing a part. They're reading off a script. It doesn't just authentically, naturally just flow off of their lips. They are performing. They're fake fraud. Yeah, fake fraudsters, man.
But for entrepreneurs out there that might not be able to even see that horizon, understand that there are chapters and there are sequences in this kind of growth journey that you're on.
Did you know back then that there was a sequence or a system
that he feels you must go through? You must go through.
No, I will say, though, that...
Are you paying attention, or are you just like paying attention to the mistakes?
It was... honestly, the first couple of years, and this is for those of you in this stage as an entrepreneur, I hope you internalize it. This is okay, and it makes you stronger, and it makes you better. And Grant, I know you will resonate with this, is that it was all survival mode for the first 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
It was running one check to the other, barely making payroll. I did not pay myself a salary for the first 6 years.
First 6 years. So that's another thing that's interesting. That's not what Charlie was doing at the end, right? Erika Kirk says, like, I'm also not going to pay myself salary because Charlie didn't pay himself salary. That was in the first 6 years before she even came around. Okay. At the end, Charlie was taking a salary and he should. Look at what he did. He worked that hard. He didn't take a salary for 6 years. He was, you know, they were pretty much operating check to check, barely keeping the lights on, struggling, grinding, earning everything that he built. Erika Kirk hasn't built a thing a day in her life.
And that's just, by the way, I was happy to do it because I was just pouring all the money back into the organization, pouring it all back into growth. And now I could sit 13 years back and, you know, enjoy and see what we've grown and really pick different areas that we want to continue to invest in. But I wish I would have had more people say to me, hey, when you're in that survival mode, little do you know, you're actually growing as a person and as an entrepreneur.
Erika Kirk never went through that. Andrew Colvett, Blake Neff, Mikey McCoy, all the people that are there were not there for this portion of it. Tyler Boyer was, but he's such a scumbag. He wasn't growing at all during this period. He was just hitching his wagon, loading up the riches as Charlie was the mule, just working, and Tyler's just loading it up. Just, I could hitch my wagon to Charlie. What could I get out of Charlie? But all these other people, they weren't there for this. They didn't have their character be refined in the fire. They didn't have to grind it out. They showed up to a fully built machine. Erika Kirk doesn't know what it was like then. She doesn't know what it's like now. She didn't earn a dang thing. She had a silver spoon the day she came into this world and the day she met Charlie. And the day she was forced onto Charlie.
You're not just going through a subsistence phase. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
And as an entrepreneur, you will become a stronger and grittier person in those chapters, in those phases. In fact, if you had to make me choose, Charlie, would you rather have a founder that went to MIT with a great idea in AI and gets a $100 million check immediately from private equity because he has a great idea?
You mean like Erika Kirk with her degrees, and right when she came in, she got all this money given to her? Would you rather have that as your next CEO? Or would you rather have someone like you? Okay. All right.
Or would you rather have a guy that had to work 9 to 5 jobs and midnight shifts, started his own business and took a second mortgage out on his house and had to go 6 years barely making payroll with 3 employees and then got a $5 million check and a $10 million check? Which entrepreneur do you think is more likely to make it happen? Everybody, too much investment capital early can be a burden, not a blessing.
That's what TPUSA is now. How many million? Now they're at like 500 million, almost a billion, $500 million after Charlie Kirk's assassination. Erika Kirk showed up on the scene as this unexperienced, hadn't earned that position a day in her life person, handed to her on a silver platter woman because her last name was Kirk and because she had Charlie's children, and then lied about whether or not Charlie ever said something that he would never say. He just said it here. He'll say even more in a little bit. He would never have Erika take over. Wives don't take over their husbands' careers. Candace pointed that out earlier. That's just not something that happens, right? The women that Candace used as an example earlier tonight, it was their families' companies. And they were already operating in high levels of the corporation before their husband died. Erika Kirk was not involved in the day-to-day. She all but outed herself on that. She wasn't in there learning. Charlie was not telling her every little thing. Clearly. Look at how she's running into the ground. Opposite direction. BS. Charlie would not have he wouldn't have done that to his own organization, but he also wouldn't have done that to Erika. If he loved her, which I think he did, if we take out that the last night, September 10th, there might have been a fight, there might have been a divorce in the works, maybe. But let's table that for a second and say that didn't happen. And let's just say, would Charlie have hoisted the pressures, responsibilities, and the pressure? Yeah, I think I said that twice. Of running an organization with this many affiliates and the for-profit Charlie Kirk show onto his wife, who had literally zero experience to be successful in them, and at the same time raise 2 children under the age of 4 now that her husband is dead. No, he would never do that.
In fact, you'll be like, oh, we're going to go have the nicest office and a ton of staff. It is a recipe for disaster for entrepreneurs and early risk takers to all of a sudden be flush with capital. Being in those early stages at times can actually end up being a phenomenal upward blessing for you in the future.
Yeah, so you're saying that the surplus of money, can actually stunt the creativity.
He'll go on to
because
say
if you
more.
didn't have money, you're going to come up with a solution.
Yes,
without spending money.
Not only that, I think that I think that's right. Yeah. I would add to it the incentive structure as an entrepreneur. I think the way that God designed us, that our best ideas and our best creativity is when it is musts, not wants.
Musts, not wants. Which one is driving Erika Kirk and Andrew Colvett? Mr. Andrew Colvett, I got so mad I lost millions of dollars when Charlie Kirk turned down Bibi Netanyahu's offer for the $150 million. Erika Kirk singing the praises of the organization herself, referencing merch sales, growth, numbers, superficial things that she and those around her, all of her yes men and women, wanted. It couldn't be more obvious that when you compare Charlie and his vision for himself as the CEO and Turning Point USA and compare that to Erika Kirk and everyone that's there right now.
That if you have to go make payroll and you have to go feed your family and you have to make this business survive and you have burned the boats, you are going to be more likely to be able to have that company be durable and anti-fragile than the company that just has Sequoia Capital come in and drop another $50 million check.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like all the money that came in after Charlie's assassination? Yeah. Salem Media, Ben Shapiro, Tatum, and everyone else. And who knows? They probably did accept, what is that, Pierre Falcone, what was it, another DuPont, and then probably Bibi's too,
Makes sense.
It makes you a better and stronger entrepreneur.
What do you get strong, stay broke?
Well, and I will add even beyond, and I love that. I want to add another term to your vocabulary, though, everybody here. There is fragile, strong, and then another term. The fragile and strong is a binary, but there's another term called anti-fragile, which is what I think you mean when you say strong. I think you mean anti-fragile.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a book by Nassim Taleb, which is phenomenal, which is called Anti-Fragile. And Donald Trump is anti-fragile. Yeah. Michael Jordan was anti-fragile. Yeah. It is a very unique type of person. And let me describe what I think Grant Cardone is anti-fragile. So someone who is fragile, they shatter when opposition comes against them.
Erika Kirk is fragile. Andrew Colvett, Blake Neff, Mikey McCoy, they're all fragile. They shatter when opposition comes against them. Charlie Kirk was not fragile.
They're not an entrepreneur. Someone who is strong can endure opposition, but they don't get stronger in the midst of it. Something that is anti-fragile,
love that.
Actually, it is their life force the more you push against them. That is an anti-fragile organization, an anti-fragile entrepreneur, an anti-fragile creator. And it's a completely different thing than being strong. Someone that's strong survives and can withstand the storm. Someone that is anti-fragile becomes stronger after and through the storm.
They convert the attacks.
Bingo. The attacks actually become surplus advantages.
Yeah, exactly. So
Brilliant.
that brings me to your haters, okay?
Oh.
Because I have a
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen.
lot of haters. And most people say, I have the most haters, but I can't have the most. I know you have a lot.
I think I got more.
And Trump's got a lot. I mean, anybody that's got big visibility is going to have a lot. Can you just talk about, have they aided you? Have they provided you with the impetus for more creativity and more solutions and more funding?
No. Well, so there's two types of haters. There's I was trying to find a nice way to say this, but I'm not going to say it. There's
I can say it for you.
Yeah, there's like the purple-haired jihadist on a college campus that wants to murder me and my family.
Oh.
The purple-haired jihadists on campus, which are the leftists that want to murder him and his family.
That, like...
I don't have those kind of haters.
Yeah, I know. Those people don't bother me, whatever.
See, my haters...
They don't bother him at all, whatever. Erika Kirk, Andrew Colvett, Blake Neff, all of them would have you believe that he had a priest come over the night before September 10th to pray over him because of some stupid Jezebel Pinterest hex spell on him. And they would also have you believe that the text message she sent out on September 9th after that emergency Zoom call with Josh Hammer and Rabbi Wolicki, Frank Turek, Blake Neff, Andrew Colvett, Mikey McCoy, some were in person, some were just on the call, that after that pressure session that was combative based on Rabbi Wolicki's own account, they would have you believe Charlie left that meeting when the context was Philly and that he sent out a text to Dan Flood, Frank Turek, Andrew Colvett, and that they would have you believe that he was afraid of a crazy leftist threat. He just said, and he'll continue, he didn't pay no mind to those people. Whatever. Not at all. He was not afraid of those individuals, not in the slightest. So why are they telling that narrative? Because it shores up the official FedSlop BS narrative that they're all pushing on us, that Tyler Robinson, who was dating or in some sort of relationship with Lance Twiggs, who he was some sort of trans furry, that they were so angry with Charlie Kirk that they wanted to take him out. Some hate can't be negotiated out with no evidence. We still don't even know where those text messages originated from, what phone, who, none of it. I can tell you, not Tyler Robinson. Charlie wasn't worried about those people at all. Who was he worried about? Who was Charlie worried about?
They're nothing now.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they have weapons. We get death threats almost every day. That's part of the game of the space that I'm in.
Yep.
The other type of haters, though, are the ones that are the close proximity ones.
Really?
These are the ones I know that had some sort of relationship with me and either betrayed me or deceived me or said that I could not succeed. That is a whole different, those actually get my attention.
Yeah.
Just like the random troubled person on a campus, whatever.
So the obvious, I want to hurt Charlie Kirk, doesn't bother
has
you as
zero.
much.
In fact,
Yes.
I actually believe that I am doing my job as a truth teller. The more that
see
those
that.
people are trying to come and murder me.
Yes.
Has zero effect on him. But the people that are closest to him, people on the inner circle, whether that's current or former, right? People that know him or knew him, betrayed him or deceived him. What do you think? What group does Bibi Netanyahu, Rabbi Wolicki, Josh Hammer, what group do they fit into when Lori Cardozo Moore, people, all the mocking pastors that are so pro-Philly that the moment Charlie was trying to go his own way and speak his mind and tell his truth and be honest and keep his integrity intact, and he said it himself. They were texting him, calling him, emailing him, hounding him, pressuring him. Those are the people that he was concerned about. Those people. What if his inner circle is, yeah, so that was what I was saying. Part of the inner circle is Philly. So I wasn't trying to make that a trick question. Honestly, it kind of hit me after the fact. Obviously, because of AIPAC and because of the donors and because of all of them being Jewish and being more pro-Philly than they are pro-America, being Philly first instead of America first, actually, that question in the poll, number 2 is part of number 3. The inner circle includes people that are Philly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that might sound crazy.
No, dude.
But in the world that we are in, truth-telling is a signature of whether or not you are receiving hate is a signature of whether or not you're telling the truth.
Right. And a sign of success.
Exactly.
Now, so the group you worry about is not
even worry, but that draws my attention. And
it's the inner circle inside.
Yes, or people that suddenly started acting in a way where they compromise.
You blew them up, and now they forget.
No, so Grant, I wish, would stop trying to add his words to Charlie and trying to finish his sentences for him. People that began to compromise. That's Charlie's words. Okay? People in a circle that began to compromise.
That.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Or they betrayed you internally.
Sure. Do you have someone you have in mind, Grant, or something? No, I'm kidding.
Oh yeah, every.
No, I'm kidding. I'm
Dude,
I
love the game. I love the game, though. I got to tell you, the game's good.
I will say I'm a big Michael Jordan fan.
All right, I'm going to let him say this in a second. Let me read this from Brett Booth. What up, Brett? This is one of the best interviews. His knowledge and his command of the room is, his room just emanated greatness. Yes, I agree. I think this is one of his best interviews ever. It was March 20th, 2025. Okay. March, April, May. Couple months right before he writes the letter to BB. Okay. Wait, was it May or March when he wrote the letter to BB? I'll have to go back and look. But I agree, Brett, 100%. One of his best interviews ever. And it gets better.
Mentioned him before.
Michael was vicious.
And this is an important thing.
Yeah.
Is that everyone should watch The Last Dance, Netflix, greatest. By the way, I'm from Chicago. And can we just settle this once for all? There is not even a comparison between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. It is ridiculous, okay?
Michael Jordan all the way.
It is such a silly, sloppy, modern, like millennial Gen Z thing.
Yes.
Michael Jordan is the GOAT.
Always.
No one will ever come close to him.
Yep.
And also, LeBron is not even on Kobe Bryant's level, okay? It goes Jordan, Kobe, Magic, and then like LeBron you can boo all you want. How about you go lose another NBA final, LeBron? Something Michael Jordan never did, okay? Anyway, 6-0 in the NBA finals. Took time to go play baseball and come back to win another 3. Okay.
Look how authentic he is. Charlie Kirk was never acting. He was never pretending. He might have said things, that he felt pressure to say that he didn't fully believe, when it came to like Philly. I think that's the only time he maybe felt like he had to say things that he didn't wholeheartedly believe. But I think he also justified it that he was also doing what he felt was biblically expected of him until he realized that the government and the people controlling Philly are not the people that the Bible was talking about.
Go complain more, LeBron. Anyway. Sorry. See, these are the haters that bother me.
This is one guy that I would suggest you guys not do a debate with.
Agreed.
Especially about Michael Jordan. No, I'm kidding. No, but
before you enter a battle, make sure you can win it and you can last. I would not enter the.
And we are in kind of like an octagon thing that keeps on moving. It's very medieval here.
Yeah. But Erika Kirk and Andrew Colvett would have you believe, and Josh Hammer and Rabbi Walicki would have you believe that this man, Charlie Kirk, needed their help with debate prompts, forming arguments. Nope. Grant Cardone sees it from a mile away. And anyone that's honest with 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a brain that works could go like, Josh Hammer, Ben Shapiro? No. Rabbi Wolicki? No. Andrew Colvett, Frank Turek, Mikey McCoy, Blake Neff? No. Charlie didn't need any of them. He needed himself and God. That was it. And that's all he ever relied on. Thank you so much for becoming a member, K-Jax. Welcome to the team.
What? Anyway, but the point being is that what we Michael Jordan. No, Vicious.
Yeah,
and Michael Jordan, though, he would always say, like, once you're on my list, I will never forget it.
Yeah.
And it took a lot to kind of get there, but he was vicious, man.
Yeah.
He played to win.
Yeah.
He understood it. He was loyal to his teammates. He was loyal to those people that were always ethical. And by the way, even other competitors like Karl Malone or Charles Barkley or people that, or Magic Johnson early in his career, late and early in his career, they were never on Michael's list. It was the people that talked dirty about him, that said he wasn't up to it. Those were the ones that Michael was like, okay, I'm gonna have to go make an example out of you.
So when you first started going to the campuses, like, was that for content? Was it?
And can you imagine what those pro-Philadelphian donors were saying to Charlie, and those stupid advisors around Charlie were saying, like, you can't keep speaking out against Philly. You can't talk out against the war in Iran. You can't keep asking for accountability and justice for the Jeffy Epi files. It's going to ruin your brand. It's going to ruin your reputation. It's going to ruin your channel and your organization. You better stop it. Charlie was the best gauge himself of what the people wanted, because he was one of us. He knew exactly what we wanted because he wanted it too.
For your mission? Like what was?
It's a great question. It was not for content. I started to go to campuses with no cameras.
Yep.
And I would just set up a card table and I would talk to one student at a time and just have debates and try to start a club on that particular campus and find a student. And we'd have 3 or 4 kids, and then we would start it, like at University of Wisconsin-Madison or University of Illinois. It was pure grassroots. And that is the other thing as an entrepreneur that I would encourage you guys as a takeaway. Nothing will replace grassroots activity and connection and hustle and relationships, especially in a world drowning with digital and AI and synthetic and inauthentic. Being in the grassroots, being connected with people is a defining characteristic for anyone that wants to succeed.
Is TPUSA still grassroots? No. They backed and endorsed AIPAC's person instead of instead of Congressman Massey. Sorry, thinking about that stupid guy from yesterday. Are they still plugged in to us? No, I lost track because I said that stupid guy's name.
How do you develop authenticity?
Well, it's
because I hear it all the time about people that are like, you're reading right now, dude. How can you be authentic when you're reading?
Now keep this in mind, what he's going to say, and now compare that to Erika Kirk and everyone at TPUSA. Like, this interview, I think, literally puts a nail in the coffin for all of them and everything that they've done since Charlie was assassinated. This is how Charlie felt. Okay, this is Charlie.
Right, and I agree. I hear it all the time, and I don't know quite how to respond to it because almost every corporate advisor or consultant will say, the problem is that you just have to be more authentic to Gen Z. I think that we solved this problem in one way. The most authentic way that our job was to get Donald Trump elected and help him with younger voters. That was my task. Okay, well,
somebody else gave you that task?
I'm sorry?
Did somebody give you that job?
No.
You just said, I'm doing this.
Well, I mean, I knew him since 2015. I know Eric, I know Don, and I said, I want to fill this void, and they were unbelievably supportive. And the president, again, deserves all the credit. We just said, we just want to focus on this one thing. So we had a choice. We could go raise a ton of money, which we had the opportunity to do, and go run a bunch of TV ads that young voters can go see.
Which is what they did for the opposition to Massey, right? And what they're doing now, okay? Also keep in mind, look at where Charlie holds the mic the whole time. Compare that to the authentic Aspen video that Candace released, and compare that to the AI video that TPUSA and Erika Kirk released, where he's holding it down, closer to his belly button. He's always holding it up at his collarbone, right near the bottom of his chin, okay? And you can see that he plays with this ring a lot too. Sorry, these are just other things I pay attention to when I watch Charlie.
Right? 15-second ads. Okay, maybe. Or I could just go set up a table and say, anybody at any time can come up to this microphone and ask me any question. Let's go do it. We're going to go do it on 25 campuses.
Are they doing that now? No.
Were these scheduled? Were they planned?
Yeah, I mean, they were scheduled
advertised?
like 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
And we have a whole amazing team that comes in and organizes and work with the administration. And we have chapters all across
But in the
country.
beginning.
Oh, in the beginning, nothing.
Anybody can go to a campus
I
and
couldn't
start talking.
order a pizza, let alone schedule
Right.
an event.
But like if I wanted to go to a campus today, could I go there and just set up a cart? And...
Yeah, I mean, you could, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you have to get a permit, but usually they'll give that to you within a day or two. Yeah.
Okay, so 4 and 5 people were coming.
At most.
Yeah, and then it's on
a good day.
Yeah, and then how did you get the debate thing going?
So I started to realize Steven Crowder was one of the first people that kind of got into the space, and then others were starting to go to campuses, and I would do evening campus events. I started to realize, though, that there was a great attention in the audience, or desire and appetite, a demand, if you will, for the least filtered conversations imaginable. Show me 2 human beings having unfiltered, unscripted, raw, and organic convos on things that I don't quite know where I stand on. I think I lean one way or the other, and let's just kind of have it out. And
TPUSA and Erika Kirk have destroyed this component of Charlie's legacy and TPUSA. Nobody is able to do that now. And it was one of his main focus points. He said, this is what allowed us to gauge, the next generation's wants and what was important to them. It also was the most authentic way to have conversation, unscripted, in the moment, ask me anything, debate it out in good faith, and let the people decide. That's gone now. That's gone.
The internet at its best lends itself towards conversations that aren't censored.
Yeah, that's right.
At its worst, it became so hyper inauthentic, to use that term again, where everything was just kind of reading off a teleprompter and was just scripted. And so we helped fill a void. Again, it just wasn't us, but we kind of stumbled into it.
Yeah, you're the king right now.
No, I'm not the king. No, I'm not the king.
Hail the king,
No,
10X.
I'm not the king.
Hail the king.
No, Christ is king, not Charlie Kirk. Charlie's not king. Christ is king.
Okay.
But thank you. I do appreciate the compliment. But I know what you're saying is that we are probably the most popular in this genre, right?
You were.
And the reason being also, and I think this is important, is that other content creators that might have had an opportunity to do this, I don't think wanted to do the work.
Yeah.
I mean, understand that for the first 10 years of growing Turning Point USA, I traveled 330 days a year.
330 days a year for the first 10 years. And I think it went down after that. He doesn't say what it goes down to. But I think it was still at like 325 or 300 even after the 10-year mark. And the 10-year mark would have been 2024. And then he was assassinated in 25. So even probably just 25 alone, I mean, he made it to September. That's 9 months out of that year. He probably was on track to at least hit a 300 still.
Wow.
330 days a year.
That's real.
I'm a multi-million-dollar mile flyer on every airline.
Yeah.
United, Delta, American, you name a commercial airport, I can likely tell you their 3-letter call signal.
Totally.
The best place to get food in either the American Airlines, United, or Delta terminal, and the highly likelihood of how long you have to wait for your bag, an Uber, a taxi, and what time you need to check in at a 6 a.m. flight to get it right in time if you have TSA pre or not.
Which means even up to 2024, he was flying. I mean, we'd have to check the flights, but it seems like for 10 years, so 14 to 24, he was flying commercial, not private. And that the flying private seems to be something that happened more recently.
You guys want to know LAS, by the way? The 6 a.m. flight, it's a disaster. They only open one security line in advance. Make sure you get there about 4:40 in advance. They have that one train that goes right there, and you'll probably be able to board in time by about like 5:10, 5:15 in the morning. All kidding aside, that was thankless work for about 10 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's easy to kind of look at it like, wow, you went totally viral. Yeah, okay, we're super thankful for that, and it's a great blessing, but you have to be able to put in the grind, put in the hours. And I mean, I tallied it up. I took 192 red-eye flights over 5 years.
Dang.
I mean, I have a belief that a successful person is one that never has to take a red-eye flight again. Like, I think that's like a goal.
Yeah.
I think it like destroys your soul, that like you have to, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, there's something really depleting about a red-eye flight.
And Erika Kirk and all of those individuals surrounding Charlie at the end, none of them were there for that. I mean, you know, Tyler Boyer was, but he wasn't going to all those events. He was doing Turning Point Action. He was doing the political stuff, mainly in Arizona. All right. And he probably was traveling and doing state stuff, but not with Charlie, not with all these other things that Charlie was doing. It was a separate thing, but Charlie was doing that. And all these people showed up on the scene. Erika showed up in 2018, but really, you know, was married him in 21. Blake Neff, Mikey McCoy, Andrew Colvett. Whom else am I missing? Well, all of those individuals. And yeah, Terrell Farnsworth, Philip Gold, they showed up after 2021. Yeah.
But at times, like, hey, I have a donor meeting in LA and then San Francisco, and then I'm needed in New York, and you just got to make happen what you have to make happen. And so it is, you have to understand the inputs that got us to this place, and you have to want it.
Yeah.
None of them know that.
You brought up God a number of times.
Yep.
God's instilled in all of us, I think, the ability to work. So what is it that some people do and some people don't?
Yeah, and again, I'm not here to throw my religion at anybody. I am who I am, and I express it. And so in my faith, the Christian faith, we believe that if a man does not work, he shall not eat. In fact, we believe that working is biblical, that God gave us the ability to create. So it's very important. In Hebrew, there are two words for creation. Bara, which is the word when God creates, and only God uses that. So in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, right?
And then he'll say the second one. Hold on, let me read this real quick. This super chat just came in. Zamet, what's up, Zamet? Thank you so much for that very generous super chat. Keep playing these before the Charlie Kirk show erases them or erases them. Authenticity is the remedy for fake and gay. I agree. Thank you, Zamet. Good to see you.
Only God uses create. And then the word ahra, which is when human beings create.
We create.
So that word is used for when Abram created or Moses created. All throughout the scriptures, we see this idea that God rewards the creation of value. In fact, one of my favorite teachings is when Christ our Lord in the parable of the talents, and this is a great lesson for all of you that are entrepreneurs.
Yep.
It goes as follows, where there is a master and a couple servants, and he dishes out basically an investment of talents. You could use that, by the way, metaphorically or literally. Talents were literally just currency, or you could say it metaphorically, like, hey, everyone has their own talent. Yep. And to each one was given a certain amount. And every one of them did something different. One hid it under a rock and did nothing with it. Another minorly invested it, and one multiplied it greatly. In the telling of the parable, the one that did nothing with that talent was scorned and said, how dare you do nothing with what God has given you? How dare you not sow that? How dare you not multiply it? God wants us to be fruitful and multiply with what he has given us. In fact, in the scriptures, it says that we are made in the image of God, in his creator, in the image of him.
Yep.
Well, since God creates, we can also create. This is a uniquely Western idea that I believe has given birth to great modern scientific innovations, and the reasons why we have the greatest AI companies and the most wealthy and incredible people, and why the fact we're able to send rockets into space and recover astronauts. Thank you, Elon Musk, for that, by the way. And the fact that we have multi-trillion-dollar companies. Why is it that America has this center of enterprise and ingenuity? Well, the Western idea, which is a biblical idea, that you are commanded to go do something productive with your life.
Wow.
That you are not commanded to go sit idly by and just receive. You are commanded to go give and to produce and to risk and to then go sow into other people. I'm
sorry to be redundant. It just couldn't be more obvious to me. Charlie Kirk's values, his purpose, what drove him, what he was aiming for, and what they're doing now, Erika Kirk and TPUSA. It couldn't be more obvious that they took him out so that they could control this thing that he had built and use it for their benefit, for what they want. Not for our benefit, not for Charlie's legacy, for their benefit. And that includes everyone there. That includes people within the government and people in Philly and all the donors that felt that Charlie was a product of theirs, something that they owned. And I'm sure that they looked at TPUSA the same way.
That is a biblical idea that has made the world a profoundly better place.
10X. How important is it to be surrounded by other people that work at those levels? Does that kick you up? Like, does that inspire you?
This is going to be interesting. How important is it for you to be surrounded by like-minded people with those same ideals, with those same principles, with that same desired outcome in mind? How important is it? Are you who you associate with? Are you a compilation of the 5 people you spend the most time with? Yep. Look at what Charlie had built prior to Erika Kirk and all of those scumbags. And look what happened after they came into his life. It's so sad.
You said something once, Grant, that I really like, which is that if you are either the smartest person or the wealthiest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, okay. It's an approximation, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly right. I try to surround myself with smarter people, more successful people. You are the moving average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So a good homework assignment for you is write down the 5 people you spend the most time with. That is who you become. And so if you are spending time with 5 people that are constantly complaining, they're constantly in way too much debt, blaming, and criticizing.
Listen to all the adjectives they use. They literally describe Blake, Andrew, Erika, Josh Hammer, Ben Shapiro, and all the Jewish donors, Bibi Netanyahu, Bongino, Kash Patel.
Hating.
Exactly. Got one more?
Wishing.
Okay. Come on, keep going.
No, you do one, I do one.
Okay.
Can't repeat.
Victimizing.
In the past.
That's that.
Yeah, it is. In the past, living in the past.
In the pasting?
In the past.
I thought we were using adjectives. So.
Bro, I'm from Louisiana.
Okay.
Okay, we have limited vocabulary. Okay, I didn't grow up in Chicago, man.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So now that we're done with the thesaurus hour at 10X, that type of mentality will cripple you in your business.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, this is also important. You can go to the other extreme. If you are around people that are so ambitious they are willing to compromise their ethics or their integrity, then you also must detach from that.
Yeah.
People that will compromise their ethics and their integrity. You also, holy smokes. It's like he's saying exactly who he was concerned about around him. At the same time, in 2025, all of this started happening with the donors and Bibi and Philly. And I guarantee you that mocking pastors were trying to push him in that box, shove him into the box, telling him that this is what God says. This is what God wants you to do. Better do it, Charlie. Don't be counted among the Edomites, Charlie. Don't have Tucker on. Don't have Dave Smith on and Candace on.
If you're about people that want to get rich quicker than they want to do good, wrong. So you have to, both are equally important. And this is also what I find is that in order for you to 10X, you also sometimes have to delete certain people from your life to get you to that level.
You have to delete certain people from your life to get to the next level. He knew it would be okay to lose donors, to lose certain people. to get to the next level with your integrity intact.
100%.
And sometimes you have to, I know that this is not like the greatest marketing, but sometimes you have to subtract before you multiply.
Yep.
And I want you to hear me out with this. If there are people in your life that are like, you can't do that, you can't 10x it. Now, and yes, you can use it as like, okay, I'm gonna show you and motivate you, but you have to be an exceptionally strong-willed person to be around that all the time and still be able to succeed.
He was cutting people out of his life. He was thinning the herd for sure.
And so I recommend, if they're family members or parents, you should honor your parents, but you don't have to immerse yourself in that. Instead, find people that are coaches, mentors, cheerleaders, encouragers for the type of person and the type of innovator that you want to be.
You mentioned earlier about COVID. Yeah, thank you guys. I'm convinced that COVID, while all the harm it did, it also created something good came out of it. And I think that people are still upset about COVID here 4 or 5 years later, whatever it is. And I think that they're actually looking at the system now. Like it was a big lie perpetuated on a lot of people. Do you think that there was any positive out of COVID?
And I'm going to let him play that. Just hold on. It kind of hit me when I was watching this and this other video that I'm going to play as well, that the effect, the outcome to the crisis like COVID and the handling of that crisis, we're going through that all over again with the crisis of the assassination of Charlie Kirk and then their handling of it and what it's doing to all of us inside. And with the Jeffy Epi files too, because there's no transparency. Trust the experts. Trust me, bro. I saw it. You're good. No, we're not lying to you. This is what it is. Just shut up. Stop asking questions. We're going to shame you for asking questions. Charlie was very clear. Ask questions. It's the only thing that will keep you free. Our response to his assassination should be the same response to how he viewed how to respond to the COVID crisis and the Jeffy Epi crisis. TPUSA and Erika Kirk are not allowing us, well, I mean, we could do whatever we want, but they are attempting to shut Candace Owens down, Tucker Carlson down, and us. Blake Neff just attacked Tucker Carlson on X when Tucker Carlson went on the show and defended him. When Tucker Carlson sung Blake Neff's praises. You ask, would Blake Neff and Andrew Colvett stab Charlie Kirk in the back? Look at what they just did to Tucker. Look at what they did to Congressman Massey. Yes, they would. And I think that they did. Always be true. Late to the party. Hope the baseball game went well and that you had a nice Father's Day. I'll watch the replay to see what I missed. Looks like a gold nugget. It is. And we got a lot more coming too. I got some other things to watch that are going to just, okay. I also this was such an amazing interview that I wanted to share the whole thing with you guys. The baseball game was amazing. It was a lot of fun with the whole family. And then we got to stay and watch the fireworks afterwards, which was really cool. So thank you for checking in with that. All right, let's continue. Wait, let me get to the bottom here. All right.
Yes, and again, I keep rooting things back to Scripture because it's the most important thing. But yes, I mean, I believe what the enemy meant for evil, God will use for good. And I think regardless of how bad this thing was, that there's amazing good that came out of it. And I can give you some of the good. And I hope that, again, we all know the negative, but some of the good is, I think a lot of people are now taking their own personal health a lot more seriously than they were before COVID.
Yeah.
I think people are asking critical questions about the food they're putting in their body, about what they're giving their kids, about the supplements that they're taking. God bless, we have Bobby Kennedy as the head of HHS, right? And the head of Health and Human Services, right? So there's plenty of elements there that I think are positive. But the one that I think I like the most, the greatest takeaway, is that it sufficiently, I think, began the end death march of the mainstream media.
It began the death march to the to the mainstream, the end death march to the mainstream media, which is what has TPUSA become now. They've literally became exactly like Fox News, exactly like Mark Levin. They are pushing all the same talking points that those fraudsters are pushing. The thing that Charlie said was one of the greatest outcomes of COVID was that we stopped believing the BS that they pushed. And now TPUSA has become that very thing. Are you kidding me? How does that not point to motive? They saw what Charlie could do, was doing, and would continue to do with this at his fingertips. And there's no way they were going to let us and let him do that.
I think we are now finally seeing that people can consume information in places that are not named ABC, NBC, or CBS. That podcasting, places like, all your amazing social media is now becoming more trusted, because what we saw during the reaction to COVID, which was so outrageous, when they were saying that we have to close down schools of healthy, vibrant kids, when they were saying that we need to mask and 6 feet of social distance, which was a completely made up thing.
Totally.
I think it has now resulted in a counter movement of an enlightenment of humanity that the likes of which we couldn't have imagined 50 years ago.
And they knew that. They saw that happening. And Charlie got bigger during that time frame and was going to continue doing that with every new manufactured and real crisis that was used and weaponized against us, and any future false flag. And Charlie would stand in the gap and hold power accountable. No way were they going to let him do that. No way.
Yeah, are you guys awake? So, Charlie, you're around. I was at Mar-a-Lago the night you guys flew back in from Greenland.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, now a lot of people don't know this story, but they went to Greenland with
Don Jr.
Don Jr., and everybody saw it on Instagram. They're going over there. What you didn't see was you guys brought a whole bunch of people back to Fort Lauderdale.
Uh-huh.
Who were those people? I'm sitting literally next to the table you guys were at. It was my table.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back to this. He kind of just talks about Greenland and was there a deal, no deal. All the major, really, really good parts we covered already. If we have time at the end, we can finish it. Let's hop over here. This is Charlie Kirk with, the mocking Pastor James Kaddis of Calvary Chapel Signal Hills. This is 4 years ago. Let's listen to Charlie. Let me make sure it's on the screen. Okay, it is. Cool.
I cannot wait to get out of Washington with you and walk in our final days the same place that our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ spread his ministry, died, buried, and rose again from the dead. Bang. John Wilkes Booth, back of the head. That's a Bible-believing Christian who gave his life to Jesus Christ.
We're talking about Abraham Lincoln.
And so I have to hear from some sort of sanctimonious pastor in Orange County, California.
LA County.
Whatever. That Abraham Lincoln, the man who gave the Cooper Union Address, the man who crusaded against slavery, signed the Emancipation Proclamation, and fought for the 13th Amendment, was inadequately trying to fight for Black lives. Like, what have you done that is useful in your life?
Nothing.
Like, nothing close to Abraham Lincoln.
No, cowards like that.
Anyway,
just
you
tear-
set me off last service because it's just.
Well, it's true, and cowards like them just tear things down. He's
that's
a perfect,
easy, and that's easy to do that, right?
Perfect example of a guy who's never built anything a day in his life.
Let's keep this in mind. James Kaddis is going to say what he's going to say. Let's compare that with Erika and TPUSA now. Let's keep that in mind.
He inherits a church, and after doing that, completely ruins what was built by the guy before him that would roll in his grave if he had knew that kind of thing had happened.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Inherited the organization, ran it into the ground, and the person he inherited, for Erika, she inherited it from, would be turning in his grave. Yeah, that's exactly right.
that to be ugly or mean or divisive. Look, a lot of people say right now, hey, James, you say so many things and really aren't you bothered by the fact that the church is being divided? And actually, my answer to them is I'm very happy to see what I'm seeing, because
You're happy that the church is being divided. Okay, now compare that to right now. Like, obviously, he's going to give his own reason for it, right? But compare that to what's happening within the Christian conservative right and the division that's happening. And I think the same thing's happening right now in the split between who believes the official narrative, right? Who's slopping up the Fed slop and you know, defending Erika and TPUSA and the war in Iran and Philly. And I think once again, there's a separating of the wheat from the chaff. And I think if Charlie were still here, he'd be on our side. He'd be on our side.
the church isn't being divided. What's happening is God is taking the church and he's throwing it at the threshing floor and he's separating the wheat from the chaff. That's the reality of what's going on. And the true believers are standing up for righteousness, and the non-believers are the ones that are continuing to march with Black Lives Matter, believing all the critical race garbage. And listen,
what about all the Christians that are defending Philly to the end, defending Netanyahu, defending what's happening, in Iran, defending Trump, even with all of the corruption and fraud, lack of transparency, no accountability, and apply that to Erika and TPUSA as well.
if you have a pastor that kept his church closed for a year and a half, and the first time he opens it is to set up a little center, if you know what I mean, leave his church. He's a coward. He doesn't belong there. And I'm not trying to be insulting or anything like that, but give me a break. This kind of stuff is ridiculous. God has called us to stand up for righteousness.
Yep.
The reason why, and I was sharing this, me and Charlie were talking about this before, but the reason why we've been having so many problems in the past is because, yes, there were a lot of people in the 60s that came to know the Lord, but they abandoned the area that they should have paid the most attention to, is the political arena. And abandoning the political arena, all of the so-called morality and legislation that was going on was based on a morality that was existential in nature and not absolutely according to the Bible. And that's why you get these people saying, oh, well, you can be a man if you call yourself a man, even though you were born a woman. It's absolutely ridiculous. And he talks about the diversity of all the people that have been put in, all the most diverse. Listen, we have a person that's involved in health and human services that doesn't even know whether or not she's a boy or a girl. She can't discern basic biology. And I
agree with that whole argument. I don't agree with James Kaddis just on him being him. Check this out. Let's keep in mind James Kaddis. This is James Kaddis. And that's Philly behind him. Okay, in his church, in his Christian church, in his Christian podcast studio.
All right. And let me just start off by simply making one statement that some of you may know, some of you may not know. It really doesn't matter. I know Charlie and Erika Kirk better than most people that even say they know them well.
Okay. Turns out he did admit he is the one that did premarital counseling for Erika and Charlie. Someone messaged me. They have to send me the clip, but he said it himself.
And I'm saying that because I think that I can speak on reasonable authority.
Oh, you can.
When I talk about what I'm about to talk about. And I just want...
You'll speak for Charlie Kirk now that he's dead. You'll speak for Erika Kirk because she is not speaking on behalf of Charlie and his legacy. And you're going to speak on behalf of God. Okay.
I want to simply say this. There is a reason why I'm not going to mention the name of anybody.
Oh, but he's talking about Candace Owens. It's all obvious.
Who continues to say the insane things that they're saying about Erika and the life that surrounds Erika. And I'll tell you why. Because it isn't about those people.
Oh, okay.
Those people are pawns that are in the hands of Satan himself.
Oh.
Now, whether or not anybody wants to admit it, spiritual warfare is real. It's more real than anything anybody wants to imagine. And the things that the devil does is real. And the good news is we have the Bible that actually shows us the way that the enemy of our soul acts, which is the devil. And I can tell you that the very first time he chose to attack mankind We have a record of it in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the record in the Bible of what happened,
Yeah.
you will see an exact duplicate of what is happening right now.
Wait, so Erika is like Eve, okay, and Satan is using Candace Owens in the same way and attacking Eve. And all right, okay, well, hold on, I'll let you continue.
Should that be a surprise? No, because the same being,
the devil,
that destroyed or tried to destroy humanity
mm-hmm.
at the time of creation is the same one that's trying to destroy Erika.
Oh, wow.
And everybody at Turning Point.
Through Candace. Okay. The devil. Okay. Yeah.
So how about we focus on our real enemy, the devil, and recognize everybody else as a pawn, which is why those names are not being mentioned. Now, some people say, well, James, it's about time that you speak up. Well, I am speaking up. I've been speaking up. I'm talking about the real cause of this, the root cause. Because we can go ahead and we can name names, and then we can somehow, some way, maybe they get removed off the face of anybody who would seek to come against Erika. Maybe they're gone. They go on to other things. You think for 1 second the devil won't use other people to start doing the same thing, using the same tactics? So how about we reveal what the devil is doing? And by the way, if you think I'm crazy for saying that, let me draw a few parallels for you, because this is important.
Okay.
First and foremost, I do want to say this. I know the truth about all this stuff.
Oh, you do?
I know about what's been happening more than most people. And I can tell you an overwhelming majority of the things that you hear out there in the mind rot world is a lie. Complete, total lie.
He's not going to, just like they say, like, produce evidence and proof. He's just going to say, trust me, bro. I'm a pastor. I speak on behalf of God. I'm Charlie's pastor. I am closer with Erika and Charlie. I knew him better than anyone that even said they knew Charlie. I knew him the best. I speak on good authority, on God's authority, and on close proximity to Erika, that everything that Candace is saying and her minions are saying are not only led by the devil, but they're all lies. What proof, you ask? Just because I said so.
With that said, you have to learn what God told mankind. He basically said, you can have everything in this garden. It's all yours. You just cannot eat of this single tree. Genesis chapter 3. And bear with me here, because you need to pay attention to this if you're going to understand who is inspiring the people that are doing what they're doing right now.
Okay.
And
so ridiculous.
This will also help you understand what Erika's mindset is.
It's so evil. He's twisting this into like good versus evil. Okay. That Candace and all of us are led by the devil, right? And that this is a spiritual warfare. You know, I believe that it is spiritual warfare. What's sad is that I think that everything's in reverse. I think the people that are, you know, presenting themselves as shepherds are wolves. The ones that are saying that we are all led by Satan, and Candace and Barron and everyone else and all of us that have any questions, critiques of Erika Kirk and TPUSA, we are all pawns of the devil, and that they are on God's side. And he is using his position as a pastor, as a man of God, to sway his congregants that probably don't watch Candace for themselves, maybe are going to find out maybe truth because he's had Charlie at his church, and maybe they think he does know something that we don't know. He's on Proclaim Streetwear's board and on Bible in 365's board. He should know. And now he's going to get up there and lie. That's the kind of person that's like this with Erika. Just like Nathan Apfel said the other day, okay, and I did a post on X about this, Greg Laurie, okay, that is the very first church that Erika Kirk did her Make Heaven Crowded event tour at. Okay, Greg Laurie. Nathan Apfel pointed this out. He's not the first person, but he was on Tucker, so it got big reach. Greg Laurie had an orphanage in Romania. Same place where Erika had her nonprofit, the Romanian Angels. During the same time frame, who knows if they were like feeding kids to one another, okay? Because we know that there seems to be this people moving around without their permission, right? The trafficking horn was going on and seems to be going on with people connected to Erika Kirk and TPUSA. It was well known within the churches affiliated with Harvest Christian Fellowship that the guy that was running the orphanage for Greg Laurie was abusing children. So much so that other pastors told Greg, you need to send an investigative team out there because we've all told you, you've done nothing. You don't believe us. They sent an investigative team out there and found that it was true and told Greg that. But because this orphanage was so lucrative to Greg Laurie and to all the people affiliated with that orphanage, Greg Laurie left this gentleman in power, in control, and continued to send him $17,000 a month to victimize more people for another 4 years after that investigation found its findings. Go look it up. You can Google it. It's real. That's who Erika Kirk decided to partner with. That's who Erika Kirk did her first Make Heaven Crowded event tour at, where they also used Laurie Franzwe's Super V technology to geo-track and cache everyone. After the memorial, that was like the next big event that they did it at. That's how they know how many people were at the memorial. They did it there. That's Erika Kirk. Okay. I think this is exactly what Charlie said no to. This is what the next level was going to look like that Charlie was saying no to. And I think Candace pointed it out that they were trying to bring him into this moving human beings against their will, structure that it looks like all these people are connected with and affiliated with and involved in. And he said, no. And I think that is probably a major component to this.
In this moment, take a look at this. Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. Real simple. The devil isn't going to show up going, that's the way the devil works. The devil is going to appear in the most subtle, attractive way humanly possible. He will do anything he can to make things sound good and convincing. He's not going to throw slop in front of you.
You mean like Erika Kirk? You mean like he might present himself as Erika Kirk and everyone that still remains at Turning Point? Or he may even present himself as a pastor? That's who he'd want to infiltrate. People that actually look the complete opposite of what they think that they would encounter if they were to ever come face to face with the devil. You mean people like you? Like Greg Laurie, Jack Hibbs, Frank Turek, Rob McCoy. You mean like that? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I think so.
Because it's not tempting to eat slop. So he shows up subtly. He directly engages with the woman because that's what the devil wants. The devil wants direct engagement. That's how it works.
Interesting.
And he says this. Notice how he casts aspersion on the word of God. Quite frankly, he's casting aspersion on the truth.
I found it interesting. This is exactly what Ben Shapiro said about Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. The exact same words, casting aspersions. I mean, is it a coincidence that they're both like their main thing is pro-Philly through and through to the end, defending Erika, defending TPUSA? Could it be that the same evil spirit that's in him is the same evil spirit that's in Ben Shapiro? I think so. I think when people are, I'll hold that till later. Hold on.
He says, yea, hath God said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden. You notice what the devil does? It's a tactic he's used from the beginning, and I want you to pay attention to this. He creates the imposition of questions that in and of themselves are rhetorical in nature and have no design to solicit an answer. Rather, they have every single design to want to make a statement in the most convincing way because it hides itself behind the imposition of a question. If you don't understand what I just said and it sounds like a bunch of babble, let me just explain this one statement. Hath God said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? God didn't say that. As a matter of fact, God said, of every tree of the garden, you can freely eat. That's what he said. What God actually said is, don't eat of this specific tree, and he names it. Look at what we've been seeing happening right now with everything that's been happening over the last 2 or 3 months. I'm just asking questions. I just want to know. What about this and what about that? Well, you're asking questions that are very similar to the type of questions that the devil himself were asking, because they're not founded in truth. Rather, they are founded in a way to lead people to a specific conclusion instead of seeking out what the truth is.
That's your opinion, bro. Like, we're all here looking and going like, no. Those are legitimate questions. Oh, he's got Erika Kirk crazy eyes. Nuts. Those are legitimate questions that we all have. Not trying to lead anyone to a specific conclusion. We literally have these questions and we want answers to them.
Especially when you're in a position of advantage where you happen to know certain things that the rest of the public might not necessarily know.
Like you?
That's what the devil is doing.
Like you?
The devil is casting aspersion on the word of God, understanding that the word of God is true. But he's doing it because he understands that the nature of humanity is always going to have a propensity to want to follow through with the series of questions that are being asked, even if they're misleading. People want to wonder why Erika hasn't responded for the last 3 months.
Yeah, we do.
The same reason why Eve, when she was approached by the devil, should not have responded.
Oh.
Because when she responded, she allowed herself to be lured in away from what God had called her to, and she lost everything. Look at what it says in verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die.
It's so gross how all of these people use scripture. It's so vile. That is, I mean, even Satan knows the word. He knows the word probably better than most, if not better than most, so that he can twist, manipulate, and use it for his own design. Just like this guy. Just like Frank and Rob and Jack and Greg and Erika, Andrew Colvette, Blake Neff. Yeah.
She already, because she chose to answer the question, she already said the wrong thing and reiterated the wrong thing.
Oh, so if Erika, well, no, here's the thing though, dude. Like, here's the thing. Eve did do something wrong though, right? Like, Eve did fall into that temptation, grabbed it, and then got Adam to eat the fruit. Okay, so she did. Okay. If Erika had the truth on her side and facts and reality and evidence, could she not just answer the questions and prove to Candace and all of us that there's nothing nefarious, nothing to hide? You're saying that by her answering a question honestly with facts, it opens her up to be destroyed. How? If they did nothing wrong, had no part in it at all, and everything on their end, like text messages, videos, emails, conversations, flight logs, locations, alibis, all of that would prove Candace is wrong. It actually would prove that they're innocent. But them being unwilling to actually answer any questions honestly and directly, giving false alibis. And it's not like they're not willing to respond. She'll respond to things about like her dating someone and being at a Hollywood party. Blake and Andrew will respond to things like Andrew responded to like his wife getting a divorce. They'll respond to stupid things, but they won't respond to important things. So they will come out of the woodworks to answer questions, to debunk allegations, but not to any of the ones that actually matter. Explain that to me if they have nothing to hide. Yeah. Oh, it's because she's so godly, guys. It's just, she's just so godly.
Look at what she said. She said, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of garden, God said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it. Where did God say you can't touch it? God never said that. God said you shouldn't eat it. It's that simple. But then look at what the devil does, because this is heavy. The devil responds to the woman, and he says, you shall not surely die. Isn't it funny how confident the devil is when he makes a statement that is a complete lie? Forget the word gaslighting. How about we just call it satanic rhetoric?
Bro, someone's got to tell this guy how to hold his phone. Like, he doesn't have the most photogenic face. He shouldn't be holding it down. He's got to be holding it up. He shouldn't be holding it that close to his face. He doesn't need to be breathing so heavy. He doesn't need to be yelling. He should stop spitting at us. I mean, just, I know it's hard to watch. It's coming though. The more like he just, oh, these people.
How about we say that there are a series of statements made by a series of different people that involve very confident assertions that are completely a lie.
Can you prove it? How about you give some sort of evidence besides, I'm a pastor, I know Erika, and I knew Charlie, and he's my little brother. Charlie's my little brother. How about you provide just one piece of evidence, even anecdotal? Just like, can you give me one thing? No. Okay.
They are a lie.
Because you said so?
They're not true.
Okay. Because you said so.
Yet people believe them to be true.
Yeah.
Because of the confidence by which the assertions are being made. And in reality, the very belief that those statements are true become the very beginning of the end of the person who hears the lies.
I mean, you're doing the very thing that you're accusing her of doing. Kaddis has produced more evidence, whether it's actually like proven like guilt. That's another thing. We haven't gotten that far. The case is in progress. We're accumulating the evidence until eventually enough evidence can be overwhelming. But you literally are providing nothing, which is the exact thing you're accusing Kaddis of doing. Okay.
Well, I'm telling you, I've got it on good authority. I heard this. This person told me that. That person, no, actually.
That's what you're doing. You have it on good authority. You said, I know Erika and Charlie better than anyone. You know the truth. You've been privy to things that other people haven't. And you're just telling people it's all a lie. Erika's good. Kaddis bad. Trust me. I'm a pastor. Trust me. There's a big mural of Philly behind me. Obviously, you should trust me.
You are not telling the truth because the claims that you make are not fundamentally predicated upon that which you know to be true. Even by your own admission, you're saying, I'm asking these questions just because it seems a little weird to me.
No, I think we start with, we're watching things play out. And things that like Erika and those other people like Andrew and Blake and Mikey and Rob and Frank have all said, and we're like, wait, that's not what they said before. Wait, that's not true. We saw the video. They didn't have blood on them. Wait, what? Wait, they're lying? Wait, Kaddis has text messages? Wait, they said they didn't exist. Wait, she releases them? They do exist. Wait, what? No, it's just that with every day that goes on, they get caught in more lies, manipulation, distortion, propaganda. And because of that, we're not supposed to be like, that's weird. That's really, really weird. Maybe we should do what Charlie said and ask questions. Maybe we should ask a lot of questions because none of this adds up. And then the official narrative, we haven't even gone there yet. We're just talking about TPUSA and Erika Kirk's behavior, their lies, the holes in their stories, Brian Harple, Frank Turek, where they were, I guess CPR. Well, we can't notice when they're lying and then go, why would somebody lie about that? Wait, they both were there. He's telling one story. He's telling a complete opposite story. He says drones, no drones. He says CPR, no CPR. He had no blood on him. He didn't even touch Charlie. He's saying he's got blood all over him. Mikey McCoy wasn't even around Charlie. Why is Rob McCoy saying he's got blood all over him? Why are they all lying? And then they're all defending each other. And then they're all defending Philly. And like, that is the common thread. That is the thing that unites them all. And that was the thing that Charlie was not united on. He was done. And we're not supposed to look at that and go like, whoa. I think that might be it. I think it might have something to do with that. And then we ask questions about that. They give no answers about that. They lie about that. And then we can't be like, they just freaking lied again. What the heck's going on? And then all of the bizarre stuff with the official narrative of Tyler Robinson. It's like, and then she gets up there and is like, yes, I believe it. Do you really believe Tyler? Yes, I do. Why? But because I do. Because it's true. Why do you think people just want to believe conspiracy theories? Because it's just too simple. It's just too simple. No, it's too stupid. We've seen it before. We saw it with JFK, Lee Harvey Oswald, Butler. We had just hoped beyond all hope that for goodness sake, with Charlie Kirk, they wouldn't do the same. And then we're like, oh, he's got a Christian wife. Like, okay, she's going to want the truth. And then we see her at the memorial and we were like, she just forgave. Why? Wait, she forgave him? Wait, what? Maybe we're not in it. Wait, oh my gosh, she did a video with him and kissed his, what? She's holding out the necklace out of the window? Wait, she's lying about all the, oh, shame on you. Shame on you for noticing. You shall not ask questions.
And it's not just one person who's doing this, by the way. It is a bunch of people that are doing this, not just one. And it's funny because they all sound like they're doing the same thing, using the same tactic. Why? Because they're being inspired by the same person.
The devil. Interesting.
I'm sorry if I'm a little bothered by this, but it's true. And it's very obvious. And listen, I'm a pastor.
Yeah, when an evil person gets backed into a corner, they get bothered. I'm a pastor. Oh, he plays the card. I'm a pastor. You can trust me. Hello. I'm a messenger of God. Trust me.
Sure. It's my job as a pastor to bring the spiritual insight into the matter so that we can see exactly what's going on. What's happening in the invisible realm right now in this current moment is far more consequential than anything that's happening physically.
Mm.
Look at what the devil says. Let me read it. He says, you surely shall not die. For God doth know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Let me just explain something to you, because this is super important. I want you to understand this. Oh. And maybe I'll just stop at this point.
Yeah, maybe.
But I want you to understand that the devil, in his very concerted and nefarious effort
to
cast aspersion on the truth,
Erika.
is making a statement that, although on the surface appears to be one that seeks to help the person that he's addressing,
Yeah.
it actually is reflective of the fact that he hates that person.
Oh, Kaddis asking questions about the assassination of Charlie Kirk is reflective that she hates Charlie Kirk. That's freaking another level of evil I couldn't even think of. He's got the audacity with the blessing of Erika. Erika said it was okay that he does this, by the way. Okay. That's all. Everything he does with her blessing. He goes out there and says, Kaddis is jealous and hated Charlie Kirk. I'm a pastor, he says. I'm here to tell you about the spiritual battle and that the devil, who I know very dear, is using Kaddis. I mean, that's just like the most disgustingly evil thing that exists. It just is.
Oh, I'm just really concerned for Charlie. I'm really concerned for, everything about Charlie. No, you're not. You hate Charlie.
Oh, wow.
You hate Charlie because the father of lies, who's literally inspiring you, hates Charlie.
Wow.
You hate him just like your father, the devil, hates him.
Now, Kaddis's father is the devil. And because we're part of the candy cult, right? And if we listen to Barron or if we listen to Kaddis, the devil is our father too. Who knew? He's a pastor. You better take it to the bank. Him and Rob McCoy are saying it. You better listen.
And again, I want to make myself very, very clear. The devil is phenomenal,
bro,
at looking like he has deep-rooted concern. Deep-rooted concern for you. Oh, that
kind of like what you're doing right now. Kind of like what we're looking at right now. That's what's so crazy. You could literally apply what he's saying to him and Erika.
man, listen, God knows that the day you eat of this, then your eyes are going to be open and you shall be as gods. He's lying. He's lying. But he's lying because he hates you.
Oh.
And although he wants it to appear as though he loves you and that he's genuinely concerned, and I'm the warrior, I'm here and I'm fighting for what's right because I know this is right, and the feds and the this and that. There are tons of people doing this right now online. Tons of people.
Oh, I just saw a super. We're not done yet. I got some other videos too. This is crazy, you guys. What up? Talking Cat Parent. Good to see you. Thank you so much for that super chat. It was very generous. Black Line Brief Team. Each of us can play a small part to fight for Charlie's justice. Listen, like, and share Matt's videos to spread the word. Let's make the entire planet aware of this contrived killing and cover-up. 1,000,000%. Yep. Yep. Because we know that the government's not going to do it. Erika Kirk's not going to do it. TPUSA is not going to do it. All the Calvary Chapel mocking pastors like Frank Turek, Rob McCoy, James Kaddis, Jack Hibbs, Greg Laurie, they're not going to do it. They're there to protect each other, just like Greg did with the Romanian orphanage. They're doing the same thing with Erika. And you know what they all have in common is they love Philly. And they weren't happy with Charlie. Sorry, I just shook the whole camera. My bad. They weren't happy with Charlie turning over a new leaf, deciding that he was no longer going to be part of the pro-Philadelphian cause. I'm just not going to be bullied like that. And that's how many people describe the Hamptons retreat. They pressured him, bullied him. That's also how Rabbi Wolicki explained the last Zoom call meeting. It was combative. They were bullying him like Lori Cardoza Moore. And they all have this one thing in common, right? They have this common goal. We must defend and promote Philly, right? Because they believe it's tied to biblical prophecy. They believe, and they're the ones helping that red heifer that bred and they shipped over to Philly that has to consecrate the Temple Mount and cleanse it of all impurities when they destroy the Dome of the Rock so they can rebuild the third temple. That's what they're planning, guys, because they believe they have to be able to rebuild the third temple and continue doing their sacrifices in order for their Messiah, who we know already came. His name is Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ is king. He'll always be king, whether you build the third temple or not. And that these mocking Christians, mockingbird fake Christian pastors, are helping them to achieve this biblical prophecy for them to have their Messiah. What's insane is who their Messiah will be our Antichrist, because we know Christ already came. He already came. We're not waiting for him to come the first time. Next time he comes, it's the second time. They're waiting for their first Messiah. Well, what would that be in our New Testament, in the book of Revelation? That would be the Antichrist. Why are these pastors helping them fulfill that to happen? Nuts.
Understand, every single one of those lies are fundamentally predicated upon one principle, and that is those who continue to very nefariously propagate them are individuals who have given themselves to the hatred in their heart that they have towards Charlie.
Dang, you guys. Thank you, James. Thank you, James. We didn't know. We didn't know we all hated Charlie. Oh my gosh. You opened our eyes. The scales have fallen off and we can see now. How gross is that? How freaking disgusting and gross is that? Nothing that Candace and Barron or any of us have ever done has ever given anyone the position or place to say that any of us hated Charlie. In fact, it's the complete opposite. Everything we've all done is because how much we loved and cared for Charlie. And it looks like the people that say they love and care for Charlie the most care the least. And in fact, it almost as if they actually were jealous. They actually hated him because what he was doing was not what they're doing now. And so for a pastor to get up there and say that and accuse us of that when we know that that's not true, who is saying that then? Who is really behind James? What spirit of darkness and evil can get up there and say that? The very thing that they accuse us of, right? The devil. I mean, that's my opinion. The Al-Aqsa is the third most holy site. If Jews destroy it, 4 billion Muslims are going to be furious. Did you not know? So they've been planning for it already. Over the last, couple decades, they were breeding these special red heifer cows in Texas. So I bet Ted Cruz and the Bushes and the other neocons, I don't know who's part of it, but it was proven. Like, you can go read, there's an article out. They bred these perfect blemish red heifers that didn't have a hair out of place, that never carried a yoke a day in their life, never worked. They would be the perfect sacrifice. It has to be. It's based on, I don't know if it's like Deuteronomy or Leviticus or whatever, in the Old Testament temple law, or if it's in the Talmud or something. But and they've shipped it out there. They've already got them there. Okay. And in order, so the Al-Aqsa Mosque has to be destroyed first. Okay. Then they have to consecrate it and they have to cleanse it with the blood of this red heifer in order to then be able to rebuild the temple in the first place. And they've already shipped these cows there. What do you think they're planning, guys? You don't think that they could just have a rogue missile? I mean, Philly would do it. Philly would do it and say it came from Lebanon, Hamas, Palestine, Iran. And then it'd be gone. And then they would have some sort of, counter propaganda, narrative. Oh, no, it wasn't us. But now that it is gone, now it's ours. And they're pushing through Lebanon. I mean, they are trying to fulfill their own Old Testament prophecy that we already know was fulfilled when Christ came. It's nuts, man. All right, let's hear what this moron.
I'm going to make myself very, very clear.
Oh, you haven't already?
Charlie's my little brother.
Oh, he's your little brother, not brother in Christ. And he says that every time he gets the chance. He says it every time he gets a chance. He's a pastor. Charlie's his little brother. He knows Erika and Charlie better than anyone, even people that say they knew Charlie. He knows them better. So he continues to put himself as the ultimate authority on Charlie Kirk, Erika Kirk, and TPUSA to make people trust and believe him.
I love him with my whole heart. I know more about Charlie than most people who claim to really be close to him will ever know. That's not a feather in my cap. That's just a simple statement of fact.
Nuts.
And I love him with my whole heart.
Nuts.
To love him is to love his amazingly beautiful wife.
Not if she has something to do with his death. No, it doesn't. Spouses are always like the first suspect when a partner is murdered. She's benefited the most. She took over the position of the company, lied about it. She's completely turned direction with TPUSA to the opposite direction of what Charlie was doing in the end of his life. And so all of these things that we look at and go, suspicious. We deserve answers. No, we're evil for noticing. Got it.
It's to love his beautiful children. It's to love the organization that he put his blood, sweat, and tears in. And
we do love his children. We do love TPUSA. We're noticing that you all are destroying it and you're lying about what its legacy really is. And we're not going to freaking stand for it. That's the truth. We love Charlie more than you do.
Spent hundreds of countless hours praying and seeking God for wisdom in building. You can say whatever you want about Erika.
Okay.
I know Erika better than most. And I'm going to say this right now.
Okay.
God used Erika to make Turning Point a better place when she married Charlie.
What? Come again? Erika made Turning Point better when she came in the picture? Without Erika, Turning Point wouldn't have turned into what it turned into? Interesting. So Charlie doesn't get the credit. Erika does. Got it. Okay.
Enough said about that.
Yeah, it was
My
great.
point is, the truth is the truth. The lies are the lies.
Yeah, because you said so.
Do not be deceived by the devil.
Because you're a pastor.
I'm bringing this out, not to call anybody out.
No.
I'm bringing this out to call the devil out.
Yes. Who is Candace, right? And us. And he's our father too, right? Okay.
Bringing this out to tell you that the things you are
No, you're telling us how to think, what to believe. Okay.
seeing right now playing out in the public space are the same exact things. And believe me when I say this, the same exact things that happened back in the garden on the day that the devil himself failed.
Wow.
On the day that the devil himself, and I say failed on purpose, because although he thought he could take down mankind, God had a different plan.
Oh, are you going to give an analogy? The same thing's happening with Candace Owens and TPUSA and Erika Kirk, that we think we're going to win, but we're going to fail. Let's see.
It's time for us to think about God's different plan.
Okay.
I love the reference that Erika made regarding Nehemiah. She made that reference because she's well schooled in the Bible.
This guy, it gets better. It gets worse. I mean, it's better because it's worse. Okay. He loves the reference of Nehemiah because Erika is so well schooled in the Bible. Is that because she locked herself in a room for 9 months twice and read the Bible from cover to cover? But all she does is regurgitate these bumper sticker slogan Christian terms and phrases every time. She literally reuses the same speech. She just puts in a new verse in every new appearance she goes to. Trust me, you can do the hard work and go back and watch all of her speeches like I have. They're all the same. She just changes the Bible verses. She swam in a stream of significance and that. It's all the same. But she's well-versed in the Bible. She knows her stuff. That's why she used Nehemiah. Not because she knew that it would be a building reference, and Charlie talked about building all the time, and she's replacing Charlie, so she needs to look and behave and act and talk like Charlie. Yeah, she prepared for a role. She's now in that role.
She understands the principle of not engaging in the voice of the enemy while building the work. Sanballat and Tobiah were serious people. They were serious enemies, inspired by the same enemy that's inspiring people that's coming against Turning Point right now as we speak.
We're not coming against Turning Point. We're coming against the people that are ruining Turning Point. It just so happens that Turning Point is an unintended casualty because they're running it into the ground, and we're trying to comfort them because they seem to be evil and lying and destroying Charlie's organization and legacy.
It's time to wake up.
Oh, thanks.
Enough is enough.
Oh, okay.
This nonsense is done.
Look, because you said so. Looking into Charlie's death and assassination and asking questions about the investigation into Tyler Robinson is done because James said so.
We need to be finished with this.
Oh,
lies are lies.
Dude, how he talks bugs me so much. Oh my!
Time to look at this through the eyes that God intended for us to look at this.
Your eyes.
This is a spiritual issue.
Yeah.
And it's time to seek spiritual truth.
Okay, close.
It's that simple.
Okay.
My advice to you.
Yep. Here it is.
You really want to know what's going on. Go to God. Get close with him.
Bro, can you ever just keep your eyes open, for goodness sake? Let's go back here. I need to cleanse my palate of that guy for a minute. Done with that guy. Looks like a demon's trying to get out of him. Yeah. Every time, you guys. So it feels like the demon's trying to get out, and he sees that the demon's trying to get out, and he goes, and he closes it in. You're in here. I'm keeping you in here. You ain't going anywhere. I got you, demon, right where I want you. Okay, I don't want to offend anybody, but so did you know that he was almost 1,000 pounds? A pastor. Isn't gluttony a sin? Isn't it? I mean, yeah, yes, it is. That's not like a minor thing. Like that's like a big, like probably like demonic oppression, possession issue that he had for like his whole life, and he still's got it going on. I mean, like he's lost weight. Okay, that's good. Overweight is not a good thing. But a pastor that can't control his impulses, a pastor that has no self-control when it comes to food. He said he never, ever looked at his fiance and his girlfriend, who's now his wife, and lusted over her. But that he lusted over a juicy steak. He literally said that. He did. You know what Charlie said? Charlie said this. The mark of a real man is a man with self-control. He said it in the context of not drinking, not partying, working hard. That a true, mature, grown man is able to control the desires of his flesh. And that the desires of his flesh don't control him. James does not embody that at all. At all.
were the people that you brought back?
It was Don, it was Sergio, James. It was the kind of the White House staff now.
And was there some people from Greenland?
No, we didn't bring them.
Oh, dude, I thought you guys were inking a deal that night.
No.
No? I've been telling people all over the country.
Grant.
They're inking a deal. They're inking a deal. Greenland is going to become the U.S.
Because you want that condo building in downtown Nook really bad.
Yes.
I know you. It's like, boom, look at that. You're going to 10X it. And the next 10X growth conference in downtown Nook, right?
That's exactly.
By the way,
I would have sworn that
all
was a bunch
kidding aside, Greenlanders, they need a 10X mentality. If I could just say one thing, everybody, this is such an important example, and we see this far too often in the Native American community in America and in indigenous communities. They've been treated terribly, obviously, over 100 years. It's awful. However, there is a mentality that persists where it is not one where they think that every individual can flourish. It is basically inherited that you're in the place that you are, you're not going to get any better. Don't try to become too successful. And Greenland has that problem. I don't know how much you want to talk about Greenland, but they have unbelievable natural resources, gold, silver, aluminum, natural gas. And the young people of Greenland are starting to see on social media my content, your content, Tony Robbins, and they're like, we want to be rich. We want to be successful. Our parents tell us it can never happen here, and just to stop dreaming so big. And so in some ways, the story of Greenland would actually be an unlocking of phenomenal historic human potential.
You mentioned real estate.
Yeah.
Okay. When I was on your show, we talked about real estate a little bit. He's in Phoenix, Arizona, Scottsdale, actually. You're across from the Promenade where we have offices. Do you like real estate, and what's your interest in it?
Yeah, I mean, I love real estate.
Why do you love it?
Well, first of all, I like things that, number one, can't be printed. Mm-hmm. So I like finite goods. Mm-hmm. And so it's one of the reasons why I'm fascinated in 3D manufacturing. I think that 3D manufacturing in particular and advanced robotics are going to be one of the most interesting investment sectors in the next couple of years. Again, one person is about to become a billionaire because she's applauding me, and congratulations, you're great. Because you know exactly what I'm talking about. So here's my hypothesis, and I'll get back to real estate, because real estate fits into this. Yeah. My hypothesis is that the vast majority of wealth over the last 20 to 25 years, and I put it in quotes, has been software breakthroughs, and we have been really lacking in hardware breakthroughs. So our cars basically go the same speed. Our planes basically go the same speed.
That's right.
We deliver things basically in the same way that we did 20 years ago. And that's finally starting to change. Drones, driverless cars, autonomous vehicles. However, software and hardware has not kept up. Our software is completely different than it was 20 years ago. From microchip processing, NVIDIA, it's totally different. So therefore, my hypothesis is that in an era of mass inflation, where you have more dollar bills than goods and services, it makes a lot of sense to all of a sudden invest and hold on to goods of which the money printer cannot, you can't just push a button and you get more real estate. Definitionally, there's only so much that can exist. Second, it is one of the few human necessities. Lodging and housing is something human beings need. And finally, again, I'm not making any predictions. I'm not telling you invest in anything. I'm just saying that there'll be ups and downs.
You're not giving financial advice.
No, I have to, because like you, I get all these crazy threats of lawsuits, right?
Yeah.
But I just want to say this, though. As a matter of fact, we have a lack of housing in this country. It's very serious.
5 million homes.
Yes, young people cannot buy homes. That's why I think 3D advanced manufacturing is going to solve this in a very serious way. Because if you are able basically to print an entire home in a factory and assemble it in 3 weeks,
that's terrifying.
Versus then 9 months.
My rents are going down, dude.
Well,
how much time's left on the clock?
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Grant.
No, but it's real. That's
real. It's real. And again, so this is what markets are all about. And then maybe that's something you guys then invest in. Because
And you guys see his mole, right, on his left shin? Why was the mole not there in the Aspen video, right? He's held this mic up right here this whole time. It never drops lower than that. Okay. It just, some of the things that they try, it's just so patently obviously BS. Like here, let's see who they pushed out for all of us this week to recant the story. And they either, threatened him or shamed him into this statement. It's insane what he says. Okay, because Vinny came out a week or so ago and was like, it's AI. It's freaking AI. It is. It is. Okay. Look at what they made him do. PBD is also the one that lied and got out there and said that Doug DeGroot, the financial, advisor to Charlie Kirk's living trust or living estate, said that Charlie did put it in his will that he wanted Erika to be CEO. Yeah. No, they're not on TPUSA's side.
I was in the wrong, and yeah, he's actually really, really a good dude.
He's talking about Andrew Colvett. Andrew Colvett's a really good dude.
To Andrew.
Very, very good dude.
That's
He's a
great.
stand-up dude.
Yeah, so there you have a call with Andrew.
So I talked to Andrew. Mind you, Pat, I think we met him in passing at one of the TPUSA events. Adam hooked it up where I got back from
Adam hooked it up, Mr. Philly.
where were we?
We were in
Washington.
DC.
Great
And I
fight,
spoke
yeah.
with him for 45 minutes. You ever just see somebody on TV or on videos and everybody has their assumptions in their head, but then you speak with them, you're like, oh, okay, now I know exactly who you are as a human being.
No, Vinny, it doesn't work that way. You don't get to speak with someone on the phone one time and know everything about the person. Hello? You don't know someone because you spoke to them on the phone for 45 minutes? You're saying you flipped that easily? You were so convinced, your brain, your eyes, your mind, from everything you watched, everything you saw that he said, that he did, and you were like, something's off. This is off. Your gut, your instinct, the Holy Spirit. And then you talk to him for 45 minutes and you're like, oh my gosh, I was so wrong. Andrew is the best. Bro, you could have someone as a friend for years and not know who they are. You spoke to him for 45 minutes and he completely changed your mind. Wake up. What was I saying? Hey, okay, you can go bye-bye. Bye, Sebastian. Did you know that this is all voluntary? You don't have to be here, buddy. Okay. Thank you for the compliment. Let's see. Bye.
Pat, 45 minutes. I mean, we could have gone for a 2-hour conversation. He explained that video that they put together, it wasn't them. It wasn't AI. But on X, somebody put, people community know if they're on a certain side. He had to go in and he had to get the community note lifted because it wasn't AI. So he explained the whole situation to me, and it was not what I thought it was. And I commented on it because that's what I thought was happening. But the 45-minute conversation, Pat, it's as if I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of the conversation.
Yeah, the nitty gritty. Oh, okay. So because Andrew told you the community note was wrong, and then he got it reversed. So you didn't actually look at the unedited version of the video. He didn't show you the full unedited version of the video. And that's what changed your mind. You didn't get to see the question that was posed by the donor in the crowd. You didn't get to see the full clip of Charlie responding, which Candace has seen. She has seen. And she does believe that it's AI. And you also, your own brain can't comprehend, if it wasn't AI, why didn't they just release the full video without splicing it, putting stuff in between? Yeah. Yes. Humiliation ritual. Bet, Zamet. Yes. How sad is that? How sad is this? He just got clipped. His manhood just got clipped. Yeah. Now he's one of them. He's Ted Cruz. He's Mike Huckabee. He's Lindsey Graham. The shell of the man he used to be. He doesn't know how much people are going to lose. I liked Vinny. He's the only person that was like the voice of reason on that show. He would have been the only reason why I would even watch a clip was to hear him. No, Mo. No, Mo, Vinny. Oh, Vinny. You're just as bad as Adam now and PBD. A shill. You're just a shill. Sorry, dude. Look at your eyes. He knows it too. Look at his eyes. He knows it. It's sad.
Conversation. But if people out there, if you don't think that Andrew Kovic is genuinely concerned and worried, Pat, he has so many more questions about everything that happened with the shooter, with what's it, Tyler Robinson's his name. It was such a good conversation, and I never judged him or thought anything.
Wait. He's got questions about Tyler Robinson and being the shooter. How come he's not asking those questions on his show? He's convinced 90% of the evidence could be thrown out, and Tyler would still be convicted. His parents turned him in. They found the gun. He sent the text. He admitted to it, like Jack Posobiec, like a robot repeating it. Him and Blake Neff keep saying the same thing. Oh, now he has all these questions? Well, I'm not going to play the clip because it's like I had it pulled up, but maybe I'll play it tomorrow. Zach Costello had Joe Kent on. Andrew is the person that sent him those text messages that Charlie was afraid for his life, not from a crazy leftist. He didn't send them. And Joe Kent admitted he didn't send them to Candace. He didn't leak them. So how did Candace get them? Andrew Kovic. Andrew's running the biggest op. It's not even funny, dude. It's nuts. Nuts.
Of them different, but having spoken with him and clarifying the situation, I was wrong because what I saw that Grok said, right, boom, AI. Somebody.
Wait, so your whole thing that you based it on was that Grok said it was AI? That's not what Candace is basing it on. That's not what none of us are basing it on. I actually thought you based it on with your intellect and your brain and your common sense, that you looked at it and you were like, oh, wait, this is like a promotional video. It's got music on it. They got another video. Then they play him for a second. Then they take it out. Then they have a still photo of him and Erika kissing. Then they take it out. Then they put the other half in, all of which there's music playing over it. To us, we were like, oh, and during the two clips where they play Charlie talking, he's like, yeah, totally. Yeah, Erika would be CEO for sure. She'd do it. Yeah, she'd do a good job. Yeah. He's saying it in jest. He's smiling. We thought you were basing it off of your brain, common sense in your eyes. You're now saying you solely based that whole rant and everything you went in on him on was because Grok said so. You're that stupid? Dang, Vinny. You're clipping yourself too, man.
They can go on Grok and people could keep communicating Pat, and even if it's not real, he had to go on and fix it. So I was in the wrong, and yeah, he's actually a really a good dude.
Talking to Andrew.
Very, very good dude.
That's
He's a stand-up dude.
Yeah, so there you have it with that.
Very good dude. Very, 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 very good dude. Okay, buddy. We all know Andrew's a liar. Which means you're part of the problem, Vinny.
That you always have to stay on your toes.
That's right.
But that the lack of supply of housing is a serious major issue, especially in states like California, as you mentioned, that have been so onerous when it comes to environmental impact studies, NIMBA boards, stuff like that.
You are very close to politics. I mean, you're seeing it every day. You're working with people. You spend time with everybody, been on all the stages. Do you think a person could be more influential, kind of pushing the scene from the outside, so like you're doing, or being in the politics, being in a position?
I mean, it all.
So Charlie is going to lay out why but he'll say it for Tucker, but he's like the same, right? Him and Tucker. Why he felt he and Tucker are much more valuable, not as politicians, but where they are.
Depends on the person. I mean, President Trump, for him, running for president was obviously the most influential that he could be. I mean, let's not talk about me or you. Let's just talk about somebody who I don't think should run for office. Okay. I think Tucker Carlson is more influential being Tucker Carlson than if he were to be like Senator Carlson.
Agreed. Same with you.
I think him as an outsider, being a podcast host or social media personality, is far more influential.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they'd have you believe that he thought Erika Kirk should run for president.
Let's pick like Newsom. You didn't you do an interview with this guy? How did you do that, bro? Like, did you take a shower as soon as you left?
Yes.
Did you? Tell me the truth. Did you feel slimy when you walked out of that room?
Yes.
I've been around that dude. I felt slimy.
Yes.
I did not feel good about myself.
Yeah, I mean,
I asked for forgiveness when I left the room.
There was,
Yes.
so that I did ask for, you know, some sort of an exorcism.
Which is the Catholic reference, which is interesting.
All kidding aside, how did I mean, I was the first guest on Gavin Newsom's podcast. He's not very good at this, as you could tell.
Yeah.
He's about as good of a podcast host as he is a governor. So, and
I agree.
I don't know if you saw my conversation. Maybe you should check it. It went pretty viral. But he was trying to run to the middle and try to
Fake.
you know, accommodate my positions. He knows where the wind is blowing always, unless of course there's fires in the Palisades.
Oh my God.
You did not know.
Do you think California can be flipped red?
With the right person, absolutely.
Does it become the movement first or the person first? Do you think it becomes the guy or the gal that runs, or do you think it needs to be a movement?
It needs to be a mixture of both. Movements require people to start them and lead them.
Yeah.
Rarely movements are allowed to continue simply on just oppositional movements. You need an articulate, charismatic leader to lead them.
What? You need an articulate, charismatic leader for a movement. TPUSA doesn't have that no more. It's not gonna last. They may be able to artificially inflate it continually with just an influx of donor money from Philly. They can buy votes, buy views, buy subscribers, just like Ben Shapiro and Josh Hammer. They can all tweet, repost, like, and share one another. But it won't be real. It won't be grassroots. It won't be organic. It won't be natural. And we'll be able to see. Because we all have conversations with one another. We know how the majority of us feel and think. We show up to these. We talk with one another. And then you get one outlier like that crazy guy saying, I'm an accuser of the brethren. Okay. Go hang out with James Kaddis, bro. That's your like-minded crew. Bye. But we all know the truth, how the majority of us feel. There's a reason why Candace has the following and Tucker Carlson has the following and Barron has the following. There's a reason why this channel's growing. That's why. Because we see the truth. Yeah, Charlie's hilarious. Charlie's the best, man.
If California was flipped, it's 54 votes, right? Electoral votes, I think.
I believe that's right.
Yeah.
54, 55.
How important would that be to the country?
Game changer, yeah.
Like what?
If California were no longer a blue state and became a presidentially red state, I mean, you would not see another Democrat president for 100 years.
That'd be amazing.
And
you don't hate Democrats, do you, Charlie?
Sorry?
You don't hate Democrats. I don't.
No.
I voted Democrat for 38
No,
years.
no, some of my closest friends are. I don't like any of these labels. Let me tell you what I do hate. I hate people that go after children. I hate people that want to keep borders open and lie about it relentlessly. I hate people that want to inflate our currency. I hate people that strand astronauts and not have Elon Musk go rescue them because they don't want to give them credit.
So he doesn't like people that harm children. Greg Laurie? Greg Laurie?
I do not hate individual people of a political party. I think certain ideas and perspectives are insidious and against who we are as human beings. But I think regardless of what you call yourself, if you love the country and you love our values, you should join Team America.
Agreed. So accountability and justice for the victims of Jeffy Epi. Oh, but Megyn Kelly and Turning Point would have you believe he didn't have any victims. No, it's all just smoke.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charlie Kirk.
Thank you, guys.
Fantastic.
Man, this is one of the best interviews, if not the best interview of Charlie Kirk to date. I have other ones in the wings for this week. It's It's going to be a good week of shows here. If you guys haven't done so already, can you please do me a favor and hit the like and the subscribe? It is the best way to help support this channel. It's free. Also, when the video is done, can you go throw a comment in? You could just be like, great job. Just 2 words. Great job. Keep it up. That's 3. You could say whatever you want to say. But it just helps the algorithm when you do that, when you put in a comment. It helps push it to new people. And then another free thing you could do is hit the hype. You hype it for free. And if you're new here, please hit the subscribe and hit the notifications to all. It's how you'll know when I do a live. I do 1 live a day. Don't do shorts. You won't be bombarded with notifications from me. All right. And those are the free ways to help support the channel. Also, you can always donate money through the Venmo account for the Black Line Brief. You just scan the QR code. Just write what you would like your donation and support to go to. Okay. If you don't want to go through Venmo, you can do it here. buymeacoffee.com/the Black Line Brief. All right. Let me make sure I got to all of the supers. I did. If anyone has any, oh, cool. What's up? Steve, you subbed. Thank you, Steve. Steven Dickens. Wait, Steven Dixon. There we go. I'm so bad at reading people's handles, man. Oh, thank you. Kay Kirkland, you are awesome. Love your lives. Thank you, Kay Kirkland. And let's see. I think I got to everything though, right? Thank you, Cynthia. And yeah, he did. Yeah. Andrew did say to Candace that she was supposed to be next, or it was supposed to be her. Yeah, like a threat. And Tucker and her were on a list, remember? Yeah. Thank you, Dulcinea. Thank you for everyone smashing that like and hitting the subscribe button to support this channel and support this community. Thank you, Dulcinea, one of our mods. Let's see. I also somebody emailed me and was like, hey, you should reach out to Tucker Carlson. He said he would do interviews with people, even if it's like a small channel. Like, obviously, I wouldn't go on his show, but like he would let me interview him, you know? So I messaged him. We'll see. I also messaged Nathan Apfel, who just went on the Tucker Carlson show. He's been on before as well. Actually, Nathan's from my hometown. He's from Southern California. And I've known him. I don't know him, but like I know of him from the surfing community, Christian SoCal community. And he did documentaries and stuff, but I reached out to him as well. So, and then John Bray is going to be coming on the show as soon as he's done on the work assignment he's doing. So that's to come. And then Matthew Tucciaroni will be coming back on as well. He's compiling everything to have a really, really good show to release. Never before seen receipts. And, yeah, on people. So that'll be good. And then I think that's everyone I have lined up. And then just our day-to-day stuff. Well, I'll just keep doing us, and I'll keep doing me. We'll keep doing us. All right. Thank you guys so much for everything. God bless you guys so much. Have a great night. Love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.